A neighborhood rivalry goes national tonight on the MaxPreps Game of the Week as we go north to the Pacific Northwest in particular. We are in Lake Oswego, just outside of Portland, Oregon, for this matchup between the top two teams in the state of Oregon as West Linn travels to Lake Oswego to take on the Lakers. Good evening, everyone. Jeff Kurtz alongside Zack, Poff. And it finally feels like football, Zack. We've got a chill in the air. We've hit fall. And these two schools, once again, our third week in a row, two schools less than 10 miles apart here on the National Game of the Week.
Yeah, I'm excited because I don't think a lot of people are kind of familiar with how good Oregon football is. Luckily for us and luckily for you guys at home, we get to see the two top teams in the state. These two teams played in the 6A state title game last year, and West Linn has bragging rights. Number 1 versus number 2. West Linn, the number 1 team in the state of Oregon. Lake Oswego, number 2. Let's look at some of the key players for tonight's game. Yeah, there's a bunch of them for both teams too, but we got to start with West Linn, man. Josiah Molden, he's a bad dude. Back-to-back MaxPreps All-American as a freshman and sophomore over the last 2 years. His older brother currently in the NFL for the LA Chargers. He's got that same trajectory where I wouldn't be shocked if this guy's playing on Sundays. Yeah, and just a junior, like you mentioned, Zach. I mean, he's going to be an impact player for the next 2 years for West Linn. Now let's take a look at Lake Oswego, and they are led by a very good running back. Yeah, Utah Ute fans are happy that we got word he's playing tonight, so that's good for everybody watching. This dude's a stud. Last year, had a big-time year, was a MaxPreps Junior All-American. This year, he's already ran for over 600 yards and has only played in 4 games. Yeah, nursing a little bit of a leg injury coming in. They rested him last week in hopes he could play this evening, and he has gotten the clearance to do so. Yeah. So we're excited to see him, and Lake Oswego fans excited to see him out on the field for this big rivalry game. Yeah, Laker fans are ready. They kind of want to see that showtime here up in Oregon, not in L.A., so. Well, let's take a look at some of the keys to the game in this one as well. And for West Linn, it's back to basics. Their coaching staff, when we were talking before the game, really emphasizing in a big game like this, when tensions are high, you really have to focus on the fundamentals. Yeah, you got to control your emotions. Just stick to what you do. West Linn, big-time program. They've won 2 state titles since 2022. Coach Eagle has done a phenomenal job. And, hey, let Vigo cook. I'm Italian. I love this one. Vigo Anderson, stud running back. He's got over 100 yards this year, but he's only played in 2 games, so I think he's got a chance to have a big game tonight. He went for over 200 in that state title game last year. Yeah, a huge impact player, and it's great for West Linn that they've got him back for this important game. And then for Lake Oswego, the arm of Curlin, Hudson Curlin in particular. Yes, he's a stud, man. He's a 3-star Washington State commit. You know, they haven't had to throw the ball a lot this year. I think that's going to be a key tonight for Lake Oswego because West Linn's number 1 thing on defense is to slow down the run. And they got to cash it in, man. And we talk about cashing it in. We're talking about Cash Wilkes. He was a guy a lot of the coaches were talking about this week. He leads the way for a very talented linebacking core. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, he has stepped up this year as a junior, playing with 2 seniors. He's really done an outstanding job elevating the linebacking game for the entire squad. Well, folks, we got a great matchup coming your way from the Pacific Northwest. West Linn and Lake Oswego kicking off here shortly on the MaxPreps Game of the Week.
Game day's here. You try to make it every week, but sometimes life gets in the way. With the NFHS Network, you can be there, catching those important moments live while on the go. And even if you're at the game, you're stuck behind your phone trying to record that one great moment you'll remember forever. With the NFHS Network, live and on-demand games with highlights and game recaps will be ready for you to rewatch and share with friends and family. 30 sports across 50 states, 500,000 games. One way to get closer to the athlete who matters most, yours. NFHS Network. Be in the stands wherever you are.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
You take a look at John Eagle, the West Linn Lions head coach. You've got two very storied coaches who've been coaching a long time in high school football in the state of Oregon. And Coach Eagle retiring after this year. This is his final season.
Yeah, he's hoping he can soar to another state title this year. Would be his 5th. He won 2 at Camas. Legendary coach there from 2008 to 2020. Took over as a head coach here at West Linn before the 2022 season. And all he's done is led them to 2 state titles in that 3-year span.
Yeah, not bad work for a short stint at West Linn. And then for Coach Steve Corey, he has been with Lake Oswego for 34 years now, all at one school, 289 wins coming into tonight's game. And obviously, when you've been coaching as long as he has, you've got a few state titles under your belt as well.
Yeah, and, you know, he checks in as a number 8 coach all time when it comes to wins in the state of Oregon. He's led Lake Oswego to a couple of state titles, and they played in 8 state championship games. Finally got them the first in 2011, won another one in 2018. So it's going to be nice to see how these coaches kind of play chess against each other, because these are 2 of the best in the business.
Well, you have a very fired up Lake Oswego student section who just belted out the national anthem. The coin toss taking place out on the field in West Linn is going to receive the football first. Our referee tonight, Jeff Walter. Andy Shaddix, our umpire. Head linesman is Steve Anderson. Giovanni Filari is our line judge. And Tony Fox is our back judge for this 5-man refereeing crew, who is got the entire state of Oregon on this, eyes on this field tonight when the top 2 teams battle in league play. It's amazing that the top 2 teams in the state are in the same league. I mean, that's pretty remarkable. Yeah, got a lot of football talent in about a 7-mile radius from the field here.
Yeah, and you know, there's a good chance these 2 teams are going to play again in the playoffs. You saw it last year; these 2 played. West Linn lost the first one, but they won the one that mattered in the 6A Open Division State Championship game. Lake Oswego got them during the regular season, 21-17. Man, what a beautiful night here, too, in Lake Oswego.
Standing room only in the crowd. You've got the student section standing up on the West Linn side. We are 55 degrees at kickoff time. This feels like football weather. Kicking off for the Lakers, Hudson Gasperson, number 3. 2 back to receive for West Linn, standing around the 5-yard line. Lake Oswego, those black jerseys, it's blackout night here at Lake Oswego High School. They're going right to left across your screen. West Linn in the white with the green lettering. This kick is going to go into the end zone for a touchback. And the Lions will have the football at their own 20-yard line for their opening possession of the game.
Yeah, get a chance to see junior quarterback Sloan Baker first. He's having a very good junior campaign in his first year as QB1, 1,503 yards passing, 8 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, and he's completing nearly 74% of his passes.
That's the most remarkable stat. I mean, even if you're throwing some short passes, 5-7 yarders, almost 75% completion percentage is pretty good. He's going to keep it on the ground, though, on first down, and that carry goes to Vigo Anderson out to the 25-yard line for a gain of 5.
Yeah, Jeff, I think you're going to be calling Vigo Anderson's name quite a bit tonight. Big-time running back. You see him there as a starting running back. Good wide receiving core led by MJ Kennebrew, Gavin Thought at tight end, and a pretty big offensive line.
It's going to be a 1-yard gain for Anderson as he runs to the left-hand side, but he's going to be stopped by Josh Christensen, one of these defensive linemen for Lake Oswego. Part of this defensive line linebacking core for the Lakers that's been very good. You know, it was ironic. We talked to the offensive coordinator for West Linn, Taylor Stinson, before the game. We got the defensive coordinator, Steve Smith. Yeah. For Lake Oswego is looking to throw on 3rd down. A nice fade down the sideline, and that is going to be hauled in for a first down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 20 yards on the pass play.
Yep, Josiah Molden, 4-star corner, also a stud at wide receiver. He is the top-rated recruit in the state of Oregon among all juniors.
So a Baker to Molden connection for 20 yards of first down. Here's a handoff that's juggled by Anderson. He's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. Once again, that is Christensen making the tackle. And let's look at that Lake Oswego defense. And we've already called Christensen's name twice. 2 tackles already. He's got 23 on the season now after those 2 grabs.
Yeah, the front seven's really the strong point for this defense. Great linebacking core. Sam Viladell and Justin Cregwell, the two leaders, along with Cash Wilkes, who's really stepped up as a junior.
Man in motion. Here's a quick hitter to the near side, trying to get to the corner, and great pursuit. That's going to be a 3-yard gain on the pass to Molden, make out to the 49-yard line, but flying in to make the tackle was linebacker Harrison Rabb.
Yeah, great job. I mean, Josiah Molden, not an easy guy to tackle one-on-one, and now you keep it kind of that third and manageable situation, 3rd and 6.
The ball at midfield. West Linn, if you're just joining us, started this drive at the 20-yard line. They picked up a first down on a 20-yard pass play from Baker to Molden. Molden just had his second catch of the game for 3 yards there. Baker's going to try to step up and run, and Christensen, who's making his presence felt, is going to sack him in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of 1.
6'6", 245-pound junior. Dude's an absolute stud. 3-star recruit, has already got a couple of offers from Nevada and Portland State, and I think it's safe to say there's going to be a lot more coming his way over the next year plus.
I mean, that's 2 tackles and a sack.
Yeah,
in your opening series defensively for one player.
Yeah, he came into tonight with 21 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. He wreaks havoc inside in the trenches.
Xander Morris, or excuse me, that was Caden Seymour, who was on to punt for West Linn, but now he's going to have to come out. The officials, some kind of an equipment issue, so jogging in will be Baker, who will do the punting here as the punt team is on. Back to receive, and not very far is Jalen Bauman for the Lakers. He's standing right around his 27-yard line as Baker is back at his 38. Line of scrimmage, the 49. That's some pretty good discipline for their long snapper, Jacob Korach here, who was over the ball while the officials were still chatting with the punter, Baker.
Yeah.
Good snap, Baker, punt away. And this is going to go over the head and take a nice bounce in the Lions' favor inside the 10 all the way down to the 6-yard line. That's a great kick by Baker.
Yeah, nice job. Hey, you got to get in here and punt. All right, Coach, I'll get it inside the 10 for you.
It's a pretty good substitution right there.
It's like the Mission Viejo game all over again.
And now we get a look at Hudson Kurland, who, as you mentioned in the top of the show, Zach, hasn't really needed to show off his arm this year because the running game's so good. But with West Linn primed to stop the running game, he might be pressed into service a little bit more here today.
Yeah, and I mean, he's as good as any quarterback in the state. He's a 3-star, committed to Washington State. He committed there back in June. But yeah, he's only completing 50% of his passes, 40 out of 80, 719 yards, 8 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Kurland on first down is going to hand it off to LaMarcus Bell. Bell is going to take it across the 10-yard line out to the 13. That's going to be a gain of 7 yards on first down.
And Bell comes into this one, 629 yards in only 4 games. He headlines the way on offense. Josiah Agnamel, a stud wide receiver, only a junior, and Sam Viladell at tight end.
So Bell with that carry. Again, coming off that leg injury, but looked pretty quick on that first handoff there. He's going to be standing to Kurland's right in the backfield. West Linn playing a 3-4 defense. A lot of players in the box trying to stop Bell, which is going to be a group effort, as you can see there. The ball is going to get to the 15-yard line. That'll be about a yard and a half shy of a first down.
And I'd expect Justin Cregwell to get a lot of carries tonight. Bell's coming back from an ankle injury, so I think we'll see Cregwell get a nice usage tonight. He comes in with 48 carries for 517 yards and 6 touchdowns. So both their 1-2 running backs over 500 yards on the season.
Yeah, he's been a more than credible backup for Bell.
Linebacker as well, too.
Now, Bell's going to stay in the game here. This time he's going to line up to Kurland's left-hand side on 3rd and a yard. Kurland's going to put the tight end in motion. Motion to the near side, that was Ethan Euchre. And they're going to run the option. Kurland's going to keep it himself. He's got the first down out to the 21-yard line for a gain of 6 yards.
That was just one of those, hey, I'm getting this first down and put my head down. Nice job by Kurland to move the chains. He comes in with 177 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns on 25 carries, so he can make plays with his feet.
Well, it's a nice backup option to have, though he seems to be shaking off a little bit of that tackle there, just stretching things out.
You don't want QB1 taking too many of those big hits.
Kurland going to make his acquaintance with his center here for the first time. Puts a man in motion to the far side, goes Bauman. Kurland drops back to throw. Has a lot of time. Now he's going to step up and run. Good foot speed. Great spin move. Breaks another spin move. Hitting X on the controller. He picks up the first down. A gain of 11 yards.
That's what I was about to say, man. It's like he's out there playing Madden. Hit that B button twice with the double spin move. He's like, hey, you know, you're talking about our running game. You got to mention me too. Great run by the senior quarterback.
Nobody expects a spin move, much less two.
Look at him. He hits it twice. Boom. One right here, and then comes back the other way. First down. I know my guy Jason Hickman's loving that. He's a Washington State guy, so he's loving the action here from the three-star quarterback.
I don't know if Kurland plays basketball too, but someone's been working on their reverse pivots.
Yeah, right?
Kurland's going to motion a receiver out. That's Elijah to the near side. Cameron Elijah. They're looking for him, and then they're going to go underneath. That pass is caught by Villadal. Villadal's got a first down out to the 49-yard line. That's a pass play that's going to pick up 17 yards.
Yeah, Villadal, 6'4", 225 pounds. He's going to most likely play linebacker at the next level, but he's a stud on both sides of the ball for John Eagle. Yeah, three-star Washington commit. Committed with Washington back in June.
Presley DeLance, the receiver to the near side. Two to the far side. Bell in the backfield. Tight end left. West Linn with about 7 guys in the box. Now tight end in motion. That's Euchre. Kurland's going to throw. He's going to roll out right. He's got a ton of time. He's going to throw a deep ball. He's got a man open, but unable to pull it in was Jalen Bauman. And now you got a penalty marker at the end of the play at the line of scrimmage.
And Bauman did a good job getting separation there. Just cannot come down with the catch, a little out of his reach.
Yeah, that ball maybe led him just a little bit too far.
Yeah.
Let's see what this penalty is as our official Jeff Walter with the call.
Personal foul. Striking the helmet.
We got a personal foul against West Linn.
Wow, big 15-yard penalty.
From the previous spot.
I liked the brief pregnant pause. We have a personal foul. Which direction is it going to go?
Wait, which one? Which one again, guys?
What? And that's going to give Lake Oswego another first down now at the West Linn 36-yard line. So you saw that last pass play to Bauman a little bit out of bounds. This drive started at the 6.
And Bauman's really the big play receiver, too. He's got 3 catches this year, but he's got 143 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Split backfield for Kurland.
My math's not the best, but that's almost 50 yards per catch.
Villadal's going to motion out of the backfield. Bell moves to the left-hand side. Play action to Bell. Kurland with all kinds of time. Looking to hit the big man DeLance, and DeLance unable to pull it in. In coverage, Kenny Ritchie.
Anytime you get DeLance one-on-one, you got a good chance because he comes in at 6'4", 220 pounds. Only a sophomore. 1 catch for 56 yards on the season. And just a little too far out of his reach. So you see the backup running back, Cregwell, coming in now. 5'10", 205-pound senior.
You like the potential for DeLance.
Yeah.
They haven't targeted him a ton, but when he has caught the ball, he's been productive.
And kids these days, man, 6'4", 220-pound sophomore.
Cregwell in the backfield to the left of Kurland. He's going to get his first carry, and that's good yardage there to the 32-yard line. A gain of 4, setting up 3rd and 6.
I mean, there's a good chance Cregwell might be the most underrated player in the entire state of Oregon. I mean, he's getting looks playing linebacker, but he's shown you what he can do as a running back this year with over 500 yards on the ground on only 48 carries.
Well, and you know what? Linebackers are mean.
Yes.
And you give them a football, and now they're going to run mean.
Usually a linebacker, if you put him on offense, he's either playing tight end or running back.
They don't know any other way. They got to... West Linn looking for a big stop here on 3rd down and 6. Euchre motions to the right-hand side. Bell the carry. Bell with the legs moving is going to get to the 29-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
He is just tough. I mean, there was contact before the first down, and you're not bringing that guy down with arm tackles. I mean, he ran for over 2,000 yards as a junior, 29 touchdowns, was a second-team MaxPreps All-American, and this year, over 600 yards on the ground in only 4 games.
Elijah to the near side. Villadal in the slot. One receiver to the far side is Josiah Agnamel. Tight end Euchre stays in the game. Kurland got the team quickly up the line of scrimmage. Now slows down a little bit. Play action to Bell. He's looking for a one-on-one situation with Agnamel in the end zone, and he's going to overthrow him incomplete. You know, one thing, this offensive line so far on this drive, and obviously it's the first time Lake Oswego has touched the ball, Zack, but they have been doing a great job giving Kurland all day to throw.
Yeah, no, their offensive line's doing a good job in the running game and the passing game. And anytime you got one-on-one with Agnamel, when it's not against Josiah Molden, you're going to go after him as MJ Kennebrew. Nice coverage there, one-on-one as well. But usually you see Josiah Molden on the field on defense, you're going to be throwing the opposite way.
2nd and 10. Bell, the lone setback. Man in motion is Bauman. Here's a handoff to Bell running left. Great push by the offensive line. Bell's not even touched till he's 10 yards down the field, and he'll be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. I mean, we just mentioned the offensive line, and then Bell's got 10 yards to run before he sees a white jersey in front of him.
And you got to love that, too, for Bell. He's got great vision, great footwork as well. He knows where the hole's at, bounces it outside, knows where the first down marker is, first down, Lakers.
The ball is spotted at the 14-yard line. That is the 5th first down of this opening possession.
It still feels weird for me saying Lakers and we're not talking basketball.
Well, this Lakers high school is known for some good basketball as well. So
Kevin Love.
That's right. You're not wrong in that it sounds like a basketball program. It's also a pretty good football program here, too, and they're showing it on this opening possession. Kurland's going to throw a little slant route underneath, and that's going to be high, intended for Cameron Elijah. And that'll make it 2nd down and 10. As you can see, Kurland, he's taking some deep shots down the field. Those are lower percentage completion type plays, and maybe that's lent itself to his 50% completion percentage on the year.
Yeah, and, you know, especially tonight, you're a little more amped up. We've seen some overthrows so far. So once he kind of takes a deep breath, calms down a little bit, he's had a lot of one-on-one opportunities with his wide receivers, but just a little off target on that last one.
You can see the arm strength is there, though. This time he's going to give it to Bell. Bell's going to run right, trying to get to the corner. Penalty marker down. Bell is going to be upended at the 9. It would be a gain of 4, but that penalty marker at the line of scrimmage, usually in the vicinity of holding. Let's see what the call is.
Nice job by Kennebrew there, too. Outside containment, not letting Bell bounce it out. But, yeah, this one's probably legal formation and holding. So decline the legal formation, push him back 10 for the holding.
That's a dealer's choice there for the coaching staff.
That puts him in an interesting spot if it would have just been that illegal formation, because it's only a gain of about 3, but I think they would have accepted either penalty.
So official's going to spot this off.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal formation, too many men in the backfield, offense.
He had a procedure call. That one's declined, as Zack said it would be, and then the holding penalty is marched off back to the 23. 10 yards from the
spot of the foul, replay 2nd down.
First penalty of the game against Lake Oswego, each team now with 1.
Yeah, this is where you want to be, too, if you're Anthony Newman, the defensive coordinator at West Linn. This is kind of, I mean, you can still run the ball here, but you can be a little more aggressive on defense. They really haven't had the opportunity to get any pressure on Kurland so far, so we'll see if they maybe try and blitz here to get a little pressure on the senior quarterback.
Really trusting their corners in man-to-man coverage everywhere are the Lions. Here's a pass underneath. That pass is going to be caught. This will make up some of the penalty yardage as the catch is made by Craigwell. Coming into the game, he will be tackled, looks like the 17-yard line, a gain of 6 yards.
Yeah, so big holding penalty. Now you got a 3rd and extra long, 3rd and 13, 3rd and 12.
What do you think here? 2-down territory, you go for it on 4th, or do you go to your field goal kicker if you don't get it all?
I think if you get it within 4th and 4, I think about it. But if you got 4th and long here, I try and get the first points of the game. I mean, I guess it depends how much faith you got in your kicker as well.
Cameron Elijah lined up solo coverage to the near side. Kurland's looking that way. Now he's going to look across the middle. He's got all day. Throws across the middle, and that ball's going to be juggled. Agnamel can't hold it. Incomplete. Some opportunities for Lake Oswego in the passing game, but they're unable to connect. And that'll make it 4th down.
Yeah, Kurland's throws have just been a little high, a little amped up for this one.
Yeah, he didn't have his feet set either.
Yeah.
They were still, he's moving them around, which you want to do in the pocket, but he didn't have his hips rotated back and his feet set when he threw that football.
Still a good opening drive for the Lakers. It was pretty well balanced, too. A lot of passes mixed in with some nice bell runs. So this would be about 33 yardage, 32, 33.
Hudson Gasperson is trotting out there. He's got the tee down. He's setting 34. Up at the 24, so it'll be 34 yards on the kick. Robbie Durbin is the holder. From the right hash mark, this drive started at the 6-yard line. Trying to get 3 out of it. Gasperson just gets the kick off, and he is going to connect from 34.
Yeah, nice job. Like you said, this drive started inside their own 10, able to get it all the way down the field, get a red zone opportunity. Of course, you want to cash in red zone chances with touchdowns, but they'll take the 3.
Well, nice job by Lake Oswego. They've got the first points of the game, 3-0 our score. Let's look at the top 10. MaxPreps top 10 national rankings. And
the game tonight, number 1 versus number 9 down at SoCal in the Trinity League. St. John Bosco, Santa Margarita. Eagles coming off that big win over Mater Dei, 7-6. Trent Mosley scored the go-ahead touchdown with just over 5 minutes left. St. Francis Academy won tonight. They beat Hun. IMG Academy beat NFL Academy, who made the trip over from London. It was 41-24, so they hung with IMG, which is, we saw them live, and it didn't go well for Central Phoenix City.
Well, that St. John Bosco Santa Margarita game, you can watch that on the NFHS Network tonight. If you're watching the game on the NFHS Network and you have not subscribed yet, this is a free game available to you. But if you do subscribe, you get access to both games. And not a bad idea to put both up on your screen, as West Linn winning the state championship last year after Lake Oswego won in the regular season, and the Lakers looking for a little bit of redemption here tonight. But both teams and coaching staffs very well aware that this might be a revenge game this evening in the regular season, but the true test is going to be who wins the 6A title.
Yeah, because I can guarantee you they were happy they won the regular season meeting, but they wish they would have won the second one. And in that 44-30 win for West Linn, it was really the Vigo Anderson show. He had 28 carries, 204 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Baird Gilroy threw 3 touchdowns, all to Danny Weidman. They did a good job containing LaMarcus Bell as well. He had 20 carries for 87 yards and had 1 touchdown. It was receiving.
On first down, Baker is going to throw. He's got a man down the sideline. This time double coverage. A little late arriving. The pass is incomplete. Intended for MJ Kennebrew, making it 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line after that last kick by Gasperson had gone to the end zone for a touchback.
And Gasperson doesn't get any breaks. Nice coverage there on the outside. And, we saw in the opening drive for West Linn, you're going to see Josiah Molden come in a lot at wide receiver. He's the best player on the field. Him and LaMarcus Bell, 1A, 1B.
Here's a handoff. Vigo's got it. He's in the secondary, makes a man miss. Another one. He's got a big run here, finally tackled out at the 37-yard line for a gain of 17.
And it's huge to have him back. He missed 4 games, played the season opener and played last week. Great vision, shows his athleticism with a couple of nice jukes there. Big run for Vigo.
Not a big guy either, as we've got an injured player down for Lake Oswego. That's Summit Civitas, one of the safeties down for the Lakers. I mean, at 5'8", 165 pounds, you're not going to run over a lot of guys, but you could see he's pretty quick laterally and got around 2 of them very easily in the secondary.
Yeah, he's a guy, if he could show up in the clubs, he's going to pull out some good dance moves there. You saw it on that run there. He's shifty, uses his feet well, and you just see the balance.
That's all ages clubs, folks.
Yes,
let's emphasize that.
He's not using the fake ID.
We have not looked in the West Linn area to see what the latest is as far as the club scene goes, but one would assume.
Okay, I meant school dances.
There you go. That's better. And nice to see that Civitas is up on his feet, though hobbling a little bit here.
And he was a guy, we were talking with some of the coaches earlier, and he was a name they brought up as stepping up huge at the safety position.
Well, hopefully that is not anything serious for him.
And, Civitas also, too, makes plays at wide receiver. So, hopefully nothing too serious. And the 6'1", 175-pound junior will be able to get back in this one. So Sloan Baker going in shotgun here.
And Baker, with heavy pressure, is going to get away from everybody and take off and run with it himself, and he's going to pick up a first down. Finally run out of bounds close to the 49-yard line.
Heads up play by the junior quarterback. He looked to dump off kind of a little swing pass to Vigo Anderson. It wasn't there, so he did a good job taking it himself, and it didn't look like he had much room, but good job to find the hole, pick up the first down.
Yeah, that was a nice bit of work there, showing he's got some foot speed too. It's not just Kurland who can run with the ball effectively.
Yeah, 31 carries, 214 yards, 3 touchdowns on the year for the 5'10", 170-pound junior quarterback.
And now with some pressure coming, he's just going to heave it down the field, and that will be incomplete. And we are going to have a pass interference call as a clear hold out there.
Didn't need it either. I mean,
no.
It was well overthrown, but Cash Wilkes, the junior there, one-on-one coverage, just made the tackle.
Yeah, before the ball even got there. I don't think he realized how far that throw was going to go. So despite the fact that Baker was just really throwing it up for grabs, that's going to be a 15-yard penalty that's going to result in another West Linn first down.
Defense, number 5. 15 yards
easy
from
call
the previous
for the ref.
spot.
I mean, as
the
you
yardage
mentioned, he made
results
the
in a first down.
tackle well before the ball got there.
That'll put the ball at the 36-yard line. Oh, you can see. Yeah, look at that.
Tackle, the whole shebang.
Yeah, a little bit of a head swipe there, too. That was not something that looked like Shane Peters there, the intended target. Here's a quick pass near side, and that pass is going to be hauled in. What a catch!
Josiah Molden, man, this dude's a stud. I mean, he comes in as the team's leading wide receiver. They line him up in the slot position. Just an easy route, nice throw by Baker, and a great sideline catch for the 4-star junior.
Great throw, fantastic catch. First down at the 23-yard line. Baker looking left, throwing left. That is another grab around the outside edge, running over a guy, finally tackled at the 5-yard line. Wow, Molden again. Holy cow.
He was just looking for a little truck stick action there inside the 10. It's pretty obvious when 6 is in the game on offense, they're going to try and get him the ball, and why not?
Well, that was a nice tackle by Cole Callahan, who hopefully has some good medical insurance because he really stepped in there. Here's a handoff. Anderson is going to drive forward and get stopped down at the 2-yard line. Let's go back to that Molden catch and run.
Yeah, good job by Baker to get it to Molden out in front and actually throw kind of behind him, but you get him one-on-one, it's tough to bring him down, but nice job by Cash to bring him down. Or Cole Callahan. 2nd
and goal. Rolling right, you got a penalty marker down. Baker's going to throw back to the far side. That is going to be caught. Now hold everything. We had a penalty thrown as soon as the football was snapped. So that is a fantastic catch. Laying out for the football was Gavin Tott, but this one
illegal
is going to be a false start
Too
against
many
the
men in the
Lions.
backfield.
Yeah, legal
Offense.
formation
5
for
yards.
West Linn.
Replay the down.
So it looks like we got a legal formation penalty on West Linn. Backbreaker for them. Take 7 off the board, or 6, potentially 7.
It will remain 2nd and goal.
That's a good job by Baker. He took a big hit, found his tight end wide open, but all for naught.
They're going to try it again. Anderson in the backfield. They're going to fake it to Anderson. They're going to throw a slant underneath, and that is going to be caught. Touchdown. This time they go to Ashton Marquis, and Marquis with a catch and the score.
Great throw by Baker, too. I mean, that was tight coverage. A great throw to number 13, the junior, Ashton Marquis.
A 7-yard touchdown pass.
5th touchdown on the year for the 5'10", 175-pound junior. That was a great throw by Baker. That always makes a coach happy. You get called for a penalty as the extra point is up and good. You get called for a penalty, but you still come back next play, put 7 on the board.
That was a very good drive for West Linn, 80 yards, resulting in that touchdown. And a nice job coming back off of the long drive by Lake Oswego that resulted in the field goal.
Yeah, Baker, man, showing off that strong arm there. I mean, that was a tight window there.
That was right on the money.
That was.
And
nice job by Marquise.
Just got it through the defensive line as well. And that defensive line had been dominant in the first possession where West Linn had the football. But that time, West Linn able to move really effectively down the field. 1:33 to go in the quarter. And this game already has all the trappings of a good one. We've got a 7-3 score. I know we're in the first quarter, Zach, and a long way to go, but we expected a pretty even game, and this has been the case when these two teams have played each other over the last number of years. It's back and forth here early.
Yeah. And, you know, they come in, West Linn averaging 40.2 points per game, Lake Oswego averaging 39 points per game. So we're going to have a good chance to see a lot of points on the board. And, you know, both offenses have done a good job moving the ball here on the 3 possessions we've seen. And
neither one of these defenses used to giving up a lot of points. Lake Oswego giving up just over 10 a game and West Linn 13. This is returnable from the 1-yard line. Across the 20 and out close to the 25. A 24-yard line return of 23 yards. Lake Oswego will take over and see how they can respond. And let's look at some of these past matchups of these two teams. A lot of West Linn there for a while between 2021 and 2023.
Yeah, Lake Oswego last year in the regular season. And you go back to that 2022 team, that was when Sam Levitt was the quarterback for West Linn, led them to a state title. He was named the MaxPreps Oregon Player of the Year that season. You go all the way back to 2016. That West Linn team was as good as any team in Oregon history, led by Tim Tawa, who's now playing for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He was our MaxPreps Male Athlete of the Year that season.
You saw Steve Corey locked in on the sideline. The head coach for Lake Oswego is a first down jet sweep to Jalen Bauman, is going to get the Lakers a first down out to the 37-yard line, a gain of 13 yards.
Yeah, Bauman's a guy they want to get the ball to in open space. He's a big play wide receiver. You'll see him get action, too, in the running game. That was his 5th carry on the season.
Kurland, who's had plenty of time to throw in this game when he's dropped back to pass, hasn't been able to connect on any long pass plays yet. He's going to hand it off here to Bell. Bell is going to be stopped at the 40-yard line. That'll be a gain of 3. Nice job by West Linn gang tackling there, which they're going to have to do a lot against Bell. One-on-one, it's very difficult to bring him down.
And, you know, you've seen Lake Oswego, too, get a little more aggressive in the passing game here in the first quarter. And, you know, Kurland's had some opportunities to make some big throws, just a little hot on some of them.
You know, you like how Bell, he was so frustrated in the backfield because every time he touches the ball, he's thinking, I'm going to take this all the way.
Yeah.
You like that mentality from your running back. Is motioning to the outside is Villadal. Kurland's going to roll out, and he will be sacked. Great pursuit and a penalty marker down. That is fantastic hustle there by Silas Reynolds, the linebacker for the Lions, but our official is going to talk this one over. Kurland is walking backwards, so this might be
and
a good sign that it's against the Lakers.
And he's going over to talk to Coach Eagle, too, so I think this is pretty obvious. They're going to decline the penalty, and it's going to be 3rd and about 12.
Illegal shift.
Yeah, illegal shift.
Without resetting before the snap. Offense. Penalty is refused. 3rd down.
So that's sack for West Linn, their first of the game. And this is setting up a 3rd and let's call it 12 here for the Lakers, who are taking a long look at the sideline, and they're just going to talk this over and let the quarter wind down and see what they could do on 3rd and 12 when they are going the other direction. 7-3 our score. West Linn, a nice bounce back touchdown. Lake Oswego, a big 3rd down coming up right after this on the MaxPreps Game of the Week.
Number one priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools to protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
Next week on the NFHS Network, Zack and I go from Portland to Phoenix.
That's going to be a fun one. I think we're going to get a lot of points in that game. Both teams have very explosive offenses.
And as you look down, a couple of big ones in Texas, Allen and Prosper, like Travis Westlake. St. Thomas Aquinas against American Heritage. We're going to cover St. Thomas Aquinas on Halloween in Fort Lauderdale. And then Orange Lutheran, Santa Margarita. That's a big Trinity League matchup in the southern section.
There were some rumors that you were maybe buying us outfits, so we'll have to wait and see.
We'll see.
On October 31st. Not really a costume guy, but for you, Kurtz, I'll do it.
We don't want to freak out our director, Carl Harper, too early here. I do have some things cooking. We'll see if they pan out. As Curlin trying to see if this third down can pan out. All day to throw, throwing deep down the field, triple coverage, and we got a penalty marker. That is going to be pass interference.
Yep, that's a pretty easy call. And that was Jalen Ballman, big play wide receiver for them. He didn't really need to, too. It was good coverage, but just kind of panicked and pulled him down before the ball got there.
Yeah, both defenses have done that now.
Pass interference. Defense, number 16. 15 yards from the previous spot. Yardage results in a first down.
So the Lakers do convert on a 3rd and 12 with a little bit of an assist from the Lions, and they push the ball into West Linn territory at the 49-yard line. As you can see, a lot of defenders around, a little too much contact. Once again, this offensive line, Kurland has all day. Bell in the backfield lining up to the left-hand side. Strong side right formation. Now Euchre's going to motion left. Kurland gives it to Bell. Nice push once again by the offensive line. Bell keeps his feet. Still going. He's going to take it to the 39-yard line. He needed 10 for a first down. He gets 10.
He just keeps his legs going, man. That's a big boy run right there for number 2. I mean, he's got the perfect last name. He's kind of the bell cow, right?
That's right. Reminds me of Tatum Bell a little bit.
Tatum Bell, former DeSoto alum, team we were doing last week.
Kurland's now got both of his stud running backs in the backfield as Craigwell joins the party. He's standing to Kurland's left. Motioning out of the backfield is Bell. They're going to give it to Craigwell. Pressure coming. Jumps out of a tackle. Hit from behind. He's just going to lean forward to the 35-yard line and get 4 yards. That looked like a yoga move there. He had the one hand down, was kind of doing one leg in the air, one on the ground.
And that's where it's nice. We have both these guys in the backfield, too. You motion Bell out, so that opens it up inside for this backup senior running back, Justin Craigwell.
There's some good backside pursuit by, I think that might have been Molden.
Well, Josiah Molden was in the backfield. I think he missed the tackle.
But still, that slowed Craigwell down briefly and allowed the rest of the defenders to get there. Split backfield again. Now people are going to shift around, as this time it'll be Villadal motioning out of the backfield. Bell to the left now. He's going to get the carry. Running to his right, trying to get to the corner. Stiff arm, and he will be run out of bounds at the 32, a gain of 3 more.
Yeah, this is exactly where you want to be if you're the Lakers offense. You got it 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3.
Yeah, it looks like about 3rd and 3. They need to get to the 29. That's just, that was, Tyler Holmes jumped on Bell's back and got a little bit of a piggyback ride to the sideline. I think he was just trying to weigh him down.
He put the quarter in.
6'1", 200 pounds is Holmes, and I think Bell squats a lot more than that, so that was just light work. Euchre moves to the left-hand side now at tight end, and Kurland's just going to keep it himself. He's going to get a block from his running back and get to the 19-yard line before he's tackled. That is a gain of 13 yards, and Kurland picking up big yardage again as the Lakers are in the red zone for the second time.
Yeah, great job by Bell, kind of the lead blocker there. Gives his quarterback some space.
Just a little bit of a chip on Cole Dixon, the linebacker. And that's all you need. Kurland, great foot speed. Bell's going to be the deep back, lone back in the backfield. Strong side right. See if they put Euchre in motion to the left-hand side. They will not. Motioning the wide receiver for a jet sweep, and Bell gets the carry instead, and a couple of nice jump cuts in the interior. He'll take it down to the 7-yard line for a gain of 12.
And that's what makes Bell so special. I mean, usually the first guy that makes contact doesn't bring him down. You just see the power here and outstanding footwork. First and goal, Lakers.
Finally wrestled to the ground by Grady Coyle. And Bauman on that jet sweep, since they'd run it once already, that was a nice distraction by this Lake Oswego offense. Here is a little bit of a delay give to Bell, who's going to get to the 5, pick up 2 yards on first and goal.
Yeah, I kind of figured they were going to go with Craigwell and Bell both on the field here on the second and goal situation. It's nice to have both those guys in the backfield. You can spread one out, kind of open things up and read the defense. That'll allow you maybe to run an RPO and decide if you want to run the ball or throw the ball.
What a great option for
Yes.
Coach Corey to have both of those guys in there, and the defense can't key on one over the other because both have been very effective. They're going to give it to Bell running right. He's got a lead blocker. He breaks a couple of tackles. Nice job coming up to assist on that one was Dixon, and that slowed Bell down enough. A gain of 2 to the 3-yard line.
Yeah, Dixon really the one that saved that play. He made Bell have to make that cut in, and a couple of defenders there for Lake Oswego, or for West Linn, to bring him down.
3rd and goal. A drive that started at the Lakers' 24-yard line. They started their first one at the 6, ended up with a 34-yard field goal. They're looking for the end zone this time, though. 3rd and goal from the 3. Craigwell in the game. Curlin's going to roll. He's got Craigwell open, and he underthrew him.
That was
that was open.
Walk-in touchdown for Craigwell. And Curlin just could not get enough on the throw.
I think it was the pressure coming off the edge. That was enough by Zack Vandenbrink. And then Curlin really kind of threw it off his back foot. And you're right, Zack, didn't get enough on it. But if he had floated that one, even just let him a little bit, there was nobody out there.
Throw a punt out there, and he's going to catch that one. So, yeah, I kind of figured this was 4-down territory if they didn't get that one. You're inside the 5.
4th and goal, 4 receivers set. Craigwell in the backfield to the left-hand side. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. That one to the near side is it's Agnamel, and he cannot hang on to the football. Agnamel was the receiver, and the defense for West Linn comes up big.
Yeah,
as Kenny Brew on the coverage.
Nice job. 6'1", 180. Kind of had his back turned, but he read the wide receiver there and got his hands up just in time.
So a turnover on downs. The Lakers 10 first down, Zack, here in the first half. They've got 3 points on the board. They've been able to move the ball effectively, but unable to punch it in there, and West Linn takes over after scoring the last time they had the ball. They're starting out at their own 3.
And if Curlin just puts a little more juice on that one, would have been 6. Just underthrew intended receiver Agnamel there.
Baker hands off to Anderson. That's going to be a gain of 2 out to the 5-yard line on first down, 2nd and 8. Well, both teams have been doing pretty well with ball control. I mean, they've been, we've had 1 punt in the game of the 4 possessions. That was West Linn on their first opening possession of the game. First time either team touched the ball. But since then, teams have been moving pretty well, hanging on to the ball for a while. Coming down to the midpoint of the second quarter, here's Anderson again. He finds a small crease and will get tackled finally at the 9-yard line for 4 more yards, setting up a 3rd down and 4.
I tell you what, man, that was a great job by Cole Callahan to come in from the safety position to bring him down. Now you set up, about a 3rd and 5.
See if Baker takes to the air here. Nope, he's going to give it to his running back again, and why not? Anderson's got a hole, some nice blocks, and he is going to be tossed out of bounds across the 25-yard line. Another first down for West Linn.
Yeah, nice job by the Lions offense, just sticking with the running game, letting Vigo Anderson cook.
There was a lot more black jerseys to the other side of the offensive line. I'm kind of surprised, but they were lining up heavy to their left, strong side right for the offense, and Anderson ran it back to the left-hand side and picks up the easy first down. He's going to get the ball again. They're keeping it on the ground, and he will dive forward to the 28 for 2 yards.
Yeah, you can tell the Lakers defense right now, their main focus is they got to shut down this running game and put West Linn in obvious passing situations, especially when you don't see Josiah Molden out there. He's been their best receiver tonight, and he's been their best receiver all season.
4 receivers set for Baker. Just spread the field out. This is what West Linn likes to do, and then let their running back go to work. In this case, Baker's going to run the option. He's up the middle. He's got a first down out to the 38.
Nice job by Callahan coming up to make the tackle on Baker, but another first down run for the junior QB.
They're going to spot him down at the 37-yard line. Either way, move the chains for the Lions. Well, West Linn has lost nothing at quarterback with Baker stepping into the role. He's going to hand it off here. Anderson starts left, cuts back right. They can't even find him. He finally is tackled at the 44-yard line. He's behind that big offensive line, and at 5'8", just kind of weaving his way through cones.
Yeah, it's easy for him to hide behind all those big dudes in the trenches. And he's got a good burst, too, once he finds his hole.
That's a gain of 7 yards out to the 44.
So far this drive, we've seen Molden on the sideline. There's just been kind of a run-heavy attack.
Man in motion to the far side is Marquis. This is a handoff. Anderson cutting back, and not much there that time. No gain. Is almost looking annoyed as he was making the tackle was Aiden Sorrigan. Sorrigan was like, finally, I found you.
I see you.
Okay. Why don't you just sit down right here? And now we got a penalty marker that's thrown in as they were coming out of the huddle. And this might be an equipment issue. Officials are looking at this a little bit more. You have to have your mouthpiece in. That's one of them. You got to have your mouthpiece in a certain amount of time up to the snap of the football. That's one thing that officials have been keeping more of an eye on this year, depending on what state you're in. And then,
the knee pads have also. So they're moving West Linn back.
Let's see. Maybe there's something on top of that.
Prior to the beginning of the play, West Linn number 2 was discovered to be wearing illegal equipment. That is the second offense on the West Linn team. That is an unsportsmanlike conduct foul against the head coach.
Wow. All right.
I wish they would distinguish what the illegal equipment was. I just knew, I didn't realize that would then turn into a penalty. Usually they just tell the player, hey, you got to go handle that.
Yeah, I think, too, that it happened earlier, but the ref didn't really indicate that there was one earlier, so said this was the second foul, and even worse, it's after the play, so now it's still third down and third in Portland.
Yeah, timeout going to be called by Lake Oswego here as the clock will stop with 4:28 left in the half. That is the first timeout used by either team.
Their first of the half.
Yeah, big penalty because it was, 3rd and 3?
Yeah, out at the 44-yard line. They need to get to the 47. Now it's 3rd and 18. For basically an equipment malfunction. That's rough.
And you get a stop here, too, and if you're Lake Oswego, you can run your 4-minute offense and try and get some points before half.
Well, let's look at the talent that's come out of Oregon that has landed in the NFL.
On, baby. Fight on.
That's right. Former USC and Pittsburgh Steeler, now coaching high school football down the San Diego area.
And you got, this team right here with Mel Renfro and Terry Baker. That's, that Jefferson team was ranked number 1 in the country, depending on what poll you looked at. Terry Baker, Heisman Trophy winner in 1962. One of 2 players to be selected number 1 overall from the state of Oregon. Mel Renfro, Pro Football Hall of Famer, 2-time Super Bowl champ, 10-time Pro Bowler.
Could absolutely fly.
Pretty good, too.
Yeah, Renfro could run for sure.
And Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's a nice list out of Oregon. And now Anderson's going to have to come off the field again. So he was out there, but now on to replace him is Cohen Bissell. Bissell's run the football pretty well this year. 225 yards, a couple of touchdowns. He's going to play action here and then get one out of the backfield. He needs to get 18 yards. He's across the 30, breaks one tackle there. Now a host of black jerseys, pretty much everybody, 9 players combined on that tackle. At the 35-yard line, a gain of 6.
Yeah, if he would have somehow found a way to get the first down there, that would have been a big Houdini act. But a great job by Lake Oswego's defense, just kind of in his own defense, had all the areas covered.
You ever play capture the flag? You've got the eraser, and then suddenly everyone's going to tag you. That's pretty much the inevitability right there.
Yeah.
At the end of that tackle, you could see it on Bissell's face.
I left everybody hanging too. The other #1 pick from Oregon was George Shaw back in 1955, Baltimore Colts.
High snap. Nice job hauling it down and getting the kick away. Wow. Caden Seymour does a nice job there. Not only salvaging the play, but kicking the ball all the way down to the 10-yard line.
Wow. Seen a couple of nice long punts, just kind of goes over the coverage and nice little roll.
And Lake Oswego march a long way with 3:26 to go in the half.
I was about to say, we've seen a lot of drives both ways, but not a ton of points, only 10 so far in the game.
Well, this is the third possession for the Lakers here in the first half. 3 points on the board. They're picking up a lot of yardage, but not a lot on the scoreboard so far. Kurland is going to move some guys around. Now he's shifting Bauman and Agnamel to the other side of the field, and the coaching staff says this looks like some kind of Monty Python movie with something from Benny Hill where all the police are just running in a circle. And before we put yakety sax underneath that, we're going to call a timeout, say the Lakers.
And down to one timeout now. Not huge in the first half. I mean, you don't want to go full Monty Python. You might as well call the timeout instead, right?
That's right. Exactly. We don't need any British humor in the Pacific Northwest.
So while we got a sec, Jeff, I wanted to bring this up before I forgot. I mean, you just look at the Molden family legacy here at West Linn. Obviously, Josiah Molden, class of 2027 stud. His dad is a DB coach here, Alex Molden. Played in the NFL for the Saints. He was a number 11 pick overall. And then his older brother is a starting safety for the Chargers. He played here back on that great 2016 team, had a great career at Washington before going to the NFL.
That's a lot of good football in one family as Kurland's going to roll. He's going to look down the middle, and he's going to overshoot his receiver. Villadal was open. Boy, if Kurland can start connecting these, he's getting time, he's moving well in the pocket, and he's just missing the receivers who are open.
Yeah, he had a chance there for sure. And just a little out of reach, almost a great one-handed catch by the 3-star Washington commit.
Kurland's going to step back on 2nd down and 10 next to Bell in the backfield to his right-hand side. Here comes a blitz up the middle. Kurland's going to run away from it, trying to get to the outside. He is going to be knocked out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Actually, they're going to spot him at the 11, a gain of 1. That's a nice pursuit.
You can kind of hear the Lakers sideline, Lakers crowd. They wanted the flag there, but definitely good no call. There was contact before he even stepped out of bounds.
This is an important play here. West Linn's got all 3 of their timeouts, and if you have to punt, the Lions are going to get great field position, probably around midfield.
Yeah, I know going in, Lake Oswego was hoping this would be the last drive of the first half. But yeah, they don't get the first down here. You give West Linn plenty of chance, and like you said, they'll be punting right around their own end zone.
The Lakers get the ball to begin the second half of play. That's Villadal motioning the far side. Play action. Kurland's looking. Penalty marker down. Kurland's going to roll right. He's finally going to run. He needs to get to the 20-yard line, and he crosses the 20. So in theory, he's got the first down pending the penalty.
Yeah, this one's coming back.
Yeah, initial indication is it's going against Lake Oswego. Probably not a surprise to those of you watching at home. That flag thrown right in the middle of the pocket.
A good job by Kurland, though, at least to get the first down. So now you get another crack at this 3rd and long.
Holding. Offense, number 62. Half the distance. Replay, 3rd down.
I think they went on Dylan Marquez, starting tackle.
It's a loss of 6 yards back to the 5-yard line.
Look at these dudes and ladies. They're having fun tonight, man.
They showed up for blackout night.
They knew MaxPreps was coming to town, so they're having a little more fun tonight.
We wore black as well.
Yeah.
We had not gotten the word. That was just a
I forgot
nice
my
coincidence.
gray polo, so I had to wear the long sleeve this week.
Here's a handoff. Craigwell, who's going to get across the 10 out to the 14-yard line for 9 yards, giving his team a little bit of breathing space. They are in a 4th and 6 situation. And let's see if West Linn elects to stop the clock here. They're going to let it ride for a minute.
I thought they were going to maybe call a timeout, but hey, you're going to have all 3 timeouts. You're going to right around the 2-minute mark.
And the Lakers in no hurry with the punt team here. They're going to let the clock go as long as they can. Gasperson had a nice punt his first time. He's standing at his goal line. Want to make sure you have a good snap. You don't want anything out of the back of the end zone. Gasperson gets the punt away. High kick, but short. And it will bounce Lake Oswego's way on the second hop and roll down to their own 46-yard line.
I mean, this is exactly what you want if you're Coach Eagle. You got a $1:53 left. You got all 3 timeouts. You're on the right side of the field.
You've had a team that could move the football, and if they hadn't had that equipment penalty, 15 yards, they were in a really good spot with a 3rd and short, and then had to punt the football away after not able to convert on 3rd and 18. So they're in a pretty good position here as Baker comes back out on the field.
That's a nice thing, too, having 3 timeouts. You can still run the ball.
And here's Anderson doing exactly that, trying to get to the outside. He finds the corner and will be knocked out of bounds at the 41-yard line, which will stop the clock after a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, if you're the Lakers there, you'd love to tackle them in bounds, at least force West Linn to think about maybe calling their first time out.
They're going to give him 4 yards on the play. Is our officiating crew, so 2nd down and 6.
Important for Lake Oswego here on this drive to at least try and hold them to a field goal. You don't want to allow them to get a touchdown and a 2-score lead going into halftime.
In motion is Molden. The handoff. Anderson back to the area where Molden vacated, and he gets out of bounds again, this time at the 31 for a gain of 11. That's a great play call. You take the receiver to the far side, who everyone is going to focus on, then you run back from where he came.
Yeah, that was just a great job. It looked like there was somebody on West Linn blocking somebody on Lake Oswego, at least for 10 yards, and a good job by Vigo Anderson to get out of bounds, stop the clock, so you still got all 3 timeouts in your back pocket.
Play action, Anderson. Baker's going to roll out slightly right, set up. Here comes the pressure. He's going to try to run away from it, and he's going to get across the line of scrimmage and dive forward to the 28-yard line.
Baker's sure done a good job when there's pressure in the backfield as West Linn calls their first time out, but he's done a great job when there's pressure in the backfield. He eludes the pressure and is able to pick up positive yardage.
Yeah, Rowan Lewis
Linn,
was providing pressure back there. And he was able to run away from Lewis and get positive yardage. Let's look at some of the games coming up next week on the NFHS Network. Hamilton and Basha, we're going to be in Chandler, Arizona, right outside of Phoenix. Zack and I for the MaxPreps Game of the Week. That should be a good one.
Arguably the top 2 teams in the state as well, both undefeated. You can make a case maybe Liberty's the 2nd or 3rd best team, but Basha is definitely the number 1 team in the state, man. And look at those 2 games in Texas. Allen Prosper, both undefeated. Lake Travis, Austin, Westlake, that's one of the best rivalries, not just in Texas, but the entire country. I mean, that's the home of my guy Baker Mayfield right there, too, at Lake Travis.
And these are just the 5 games we're highlighting, folks.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good games taking place all across the country right now on the NFHS Network. There is not a lack of good high school football to watch. So I invite you to join us next week for those, as here's pressure coming on Baker. He's throwing and incomplete, looking for Molden along the sideline as Baker takes a hit at the 40-yard line at the end of that play and is slow to get up. That was...
Yeah, Villadal coming in hot. I thought, maybe going to be a roughing the passer. He took a big hit, but it was pretty bang-bang. Good no call. Almost a great sideline catch by Josiah Molden.
Boy, if he'd pulled that in at the 4-yard line after all that. Instead, 3rd down and 7 at the 28-yard line. Still a lot of time left here in the first half. 1:19 for West Linn. They've got 2 timeouts. Anderson back in the game. Baker. And now we got a whistle.
Delay game.
Prior to the snap, delay of game. Offense, 5 yards, remains third down.
And that's tough, too, because you got 2 timeouts. You might as well use one of them there, but...
Third down and 12, yeah. And the 5th penalty of the first half for West Linn, and some of those have been pretty critical. You had a 3rd and 7, now you've got a 3rd and 12. You had a 3rd and 3, you had a 15-yard penalty, turned it into 3rd and 18 on their previous possession.
And depending what happens here, but this is 2 downs to pick up 12 yards for West Linn. You're kind of in that no-man land where you're too close to punt, too far for a field goal.
Baker with 4 receivers. Here comes pressure up the middle. He's throwing it down the middle. He's got a man open, and that is a touchdown. No, down to the 1-yard line. A first down, however, 1st and goal. Another great catch, fantastic execution by Baker, throwing that ball against heavy pressure. Ashton Marquis with a catch down to the 1.
Yeah, just a great job for Baker to get it there. That looked like a pretty clear touchdown, but it might benefit West Linn too now, because now you get to run more time off the clock. Obviously they got to punch it in here, but yeah, I don't know how the refs ruled them down at the 1 there. It was pretty obvious.
And now we've got a timeout being called by Lake Oswego as they were trying to get a last-minute substitution into the game, and they didn't want anybody to get called off sides as Max Matajasic was hustling onto the field late for the Lakers.
I don't know how they ruled him down at the 1 there. It looked like he was in easily.
Yeah, I mean, at first I thought, well, maybe there was a knee down that I didn't see, but
let's see.
He's
got knees up, arms up, everything's up.
Well, in film study tomorrow, Marquis is going to have a gripe.
Because that should be 2 touchdowns tonight for him. He caught the 1 earlier.
If there's any justice, they throw him a little fade route here.
Yeah.
But I think you can give the ball to Anderson.
Justice is coming through me. So.
That's right.
Because here, if you're West Linn, I mean, if you run it and you don't score here, you can run another 40 seconds off the clock. Hey, I mean, we all make mistakes.
That's right.
So,
look, the officials are human.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, this might work out in West Linn's favor because they get to run another play here. Anderson's in the backfield. Baker is just going to keep it himself, and he is not going to get there. He's down at the line of scrimmage, so that'll make it 2nd and goal. But again, this benefits
you could run this down all the way to the 30-second mark now.
I mean, they still have those 2 timeouts, so really no rush. Though Baker seems to be animatedly asking for the play from the sideline quickly. Maybe still feeling the effects of that delay of game a few plays ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I think here you're going to see him hand it off to number 2 and see if Vigo can punch it in. Nope. Walk it in.
Baker's going to do it himself. From a yard out, West Linn and Sloan Baker, after a fantastic pass, takes care of the rest of that 46-yard drive on his own with a 1-yard walk-in for a touchdown.
Yeah, 4th rushing score of the year for the junior QB, and easiest rushing touchdown he's had all year. He didn't get tackled until he's about 4 yards into the end zone.
Well, nice job once again by West Linn. They've scored on 2 of their 4 possessions. Here's the extra point try on the way, and that is going to be good. And it's a 14-3 game with 30 seconds left in the first half. And really, I think the one positive takeaway for the Lakers at this point, given the score, is, hey, you get the ball now.
Yeah.
You've got 1 timeout you can use. Maybe you get good field position. We'll see. Maybe you get a play and you can try to make something happen. But if not, you get the ball first.
Yeah.
And that's going to be really important for them to score in that first possession of the second half.
And they had it, they had the opportunity to have the perfect ending to the first half, and then you get the ball to start the second half. But West Linn's defense forces that 3 and out. Start this drive on the Lake Oswego 46, and then they punch it in for 6, and you don't really give the Lakers much time with only 30 seconds left on the clock. And no timeouts.
Yeah, and the 2 times that, Morris, last time he kicked off, it was returnable. It was about a 23-yard return for the Lakers, so it's possible.
And Jalen Bauman is the one guy you don't want to give a chance on a return here.
Hudson Gasperson is the other one. They're kicking it his direction, and he is going to grab it at the 1-yard line, far side of the field. Across the 10, going to cut upfield. He's got some room across the 30, 35, 40, and out of bounds. We have a penalty marker, though, down back at the 30-yard line. So even though that's a great return of 40 yards out to the 41, this may be coming back.
Yeah, usually the indication on a kickoff return, holding. Yep, ref indicates it. So big penalty. I mean, you get the ball at your own 40 there, you got a chance to put points on the board.
During the return, holding. Return team, number 25. 10-yard spot of the foul. First down.
So instead of having the ball, like you said, at the 41, you've got at your own 20 on that fourth penalty of the first half for Lake Oswego.
Yeah, if you're Coach Corey here, get the ball to 2. Let's get to halftime. You don't want to take a chance. Any turnover, or you might even just take a knee.
Yeah, why give it to your running back and have, I mean.
It's nice, though, when you got a guy like LaMarcus Bell. He can break one, but, yeah, they're taking a knee. They're going to half.
Yeah, there's no sense running him into the interior of the line for 3 yards.
Yep.
And so that will wind us down towards halftime. Lake Oswego, they have done a nice job moving the football, but only 3 points on the board. And West Linn has taken advantage of a long drive, an 80-yard drive for a score, and then that last one, that 46-yard drive, capping the scoring at 14-3. We've reached halftime here at Lake Oswego High School. The halftime show on the MaxPreps Game of the Week coming up right after this.
The MaxPreps Game of the Week is brought to you by GoFan, the leading ticketing solution for high schools. Skip the line and get your tickets instantly on the GoFan app. And by the NFHS Network. Watch your favorite teams live and on demand with the largest broadcast network for high school sports.
They score! Cross comes in!
He gone, folks. Look at him go. We're going to have to watch the clock.
Our number one priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
Hey, we're back for the top 10 plays as seen on the NFHS Network. We're going to Illinois. Dalton open, throwing the dime. Aiden Hinder turns his body, makes the catch. Great way to start it in the state of Illinois. We're going to Georgia. Jacoby Dorsey. This is why he makes the top 10 right here as he throws this guy off him using that strength. Cedartown High School in Georgia. West Linn. Oh, hey, they sound familiar. Hopefully you're seeing plays like this on the MaxPreps Game of the Week as well. Shane Peters taking this punt return. I love this play because of the end as he just plows his way into the end zone. He's not going to be denied in the state of Oregon. We're going to Texas now. Raymond Smith. Beautiful pass here. Beautiful catch. Beautiful job by the referee saying, yes, sir, that's a touchdown. Pass is just so pretty right here. And the catch as well. Similar type play. Jordan Ibn Anderson L. His QB throwing it where only he can get it. He taps his feet. Yes, he's going to pump his fist. Yes, yes, yes. What a play right there. McKinney High School, staying in Texas. Nathan Hall, he's going to force this fumble. Caden Scobie says, scoop. and score. He's got a couple guys in front, one guy coming from behind. It doesn't matter. He's getting in. You know he's getting in. Bishop Gorman High School. Noah Cole. Love it right here when he just jumps over the guy like it's nothing, heads into the end zone. The Gales are rolling in the state of Nevada. We're headed back to Georgia. Dwight Lewis takes the little dump off screen right here. He's gonna stiff arm him out of the way. He's gonna throw that guy. He's gonna look for some blockers down the field. And is he gonna get in? Of course he is. Hey, how about for the last two plays, we turn the volume up.
With talented juniors. Trick play, Farinas on the end around. Kiko Farinas shot out of a cannon. And Farinas cuts across the 50. He's gonna go. Kiko Farinas, 80 yards to pay dirt.
Toward the sideline, shorten that field just a little bit. Howell drops back to throw, looking across the middle. Well, he's going to take a shot down the middle of the field. Is that a one-handed catch? Wow, what a grab. Wow. Baker pulls it in inside the 10-yard line.
Sarod Baker, are you kidding me?
Well, we may have a nominee for Play of the Week next week.
Wow, unbelievable. He had his other arm being held by the DB, and he makes a one-handed sensational catch. Yeah, it's going to be hard to top that for number one play next week.
Once again, our campaigning works for the top play of the week. We are getting good at that, thanks to Steve Montoya, who we'll have on sideline for us next week for our game.
Looking forward to it, man.
You'll get to see Steve on camera, folks, after hearing his voice all season long. Here's our top 25 national rankings, Zack.
Yeah, I was just checking in to see what that Bosco score is. Looks like it's 21-7 St. John Bosco, so that's pretty big, man. Santa Margarita's got a great defense. They held Mater Dei to 6 points last week. You get a look at the top 10 there. Santa Margarita checking in at number 9. Mater Dei dropped all the way to 11. They play Servite tomorrow night. You can watch that one on the NFHS network. I expect Mater Dei to bounce back in a big way.
They should. That's a big rivalry game for them. It'd be a huge upset if Servite were to take that one. And then rounding it out, Don Bosco Prep in the number 25 spot from Ramsey, New Jersey.
Yeah, and you know, you get a look at Cass Tech too. They had a big win earlier today playing their rival King, two top powers in Detroit. They played that game at Ford Field, actually, so that's got to be fun for those kids to play in an NFL stadium.
Now, Basha, who we're covering next week against Hamilton, we mentioned right before the end of the first half. They're the number 18 team in the country. Tonight in our game between West Linn and Lake Oswego, neither team anywhere close to the top 25, but keeping in mind, folks, you've got the number 93 team in the country, the number 100 team in the country. Now, that sounds like, wow, they're really down there. Until you remember there are about 18,000 high schools playing football across the country.
100, that's pretty good.
You're doing great.
Asha's up 31-0 too, so it looks like they're going to be undefeated going into next week.
Well, these two teams undefeated right now, but West Linn on top at the moment, 14-3 at halftime. We will be back with more on the MaxPreps Game of the Week halftime show coming up in just a moment.
Game day's here. You try to make it every week, but sometimes life gets in the way. With the NFHS network, you can be there, catching those important moments live while on the go. And even if you're at the game, you're stuck behind your phone trying to record that one great moment you'll remember forever. With the NFHS network, live and on-demand games with highlights and game recaps will be ready for you to rewatch and share with friends and family. 30 sports across 50 states, 500,000 games. One way to get closer to the athlete who matters most, yours. NFHS network. Be in the stands wherever you are.
Our number one priority is protecting our players. That's why we're writing new rules for the sport and developing innovative educational tools that protect our athletes. This is player protection. This is high school football.
Game day's here. You try to make it every week, but sometimes life gets in the way. With the NFHS Network, you can be there, catching those important moments live while on the go. And even if you're at the game, you're stuck behind your phone trying to record that one great moment you'll remember forever. With the NFHS Network, live and on-demand games with highlights and game recaps will be ready for you to rewatch and share with friends and family. 30 sports across 50 states, 500,000 games. One way to get closer to the athlete who matters most, yours. NFHS Network. Be in the stands wherever you are.
Halftime continues here from Lake Oswego High School. Let's look at the first half highlights from our game. And Curlin showing some good footwork here in the first half.
That was that little double spinny action. That has some sauce on it, Jeff.
And the first points of the game as Lake Oswego completes a long drive with a 34-yard field goal. Vigo Anderson's been electric.
He's shifty, man. He's hard to bring down in the open field. And you get a look at the first touchdown. Marquis should have had two.
Yep. But he'll take that one, and his nice pass catch set up this 1-yard run by Baker. Baker had a really good first half controlling this offense.
Yeah, he's been very efficient. High completion percentage, making plays with his feet, exactly what you want to see from your junior quarterback. And coming into this year, they weren't sure who their starter was going to be. Sloan Baker said, guys, I got this. All right, he's having a great season so far as West Linn comes in as a top-ranked team in the state at 6-0.
I'd say very satisfied, I would say, at the moment, West Linn student section.
Yeah, you got to get your second win for the second half, so they're not wasting any energy.
Here's our MaxPreps national scoreboard. St. John Bosco leading Santa Margarita 21-7, that IMG Academy win. We mentioned Basha 31-0 over South Point Catholic. And then Cass Tech over King, Northwestern over Palmetto.
Yeah. And that was a big win for Miami Northwestern, too. Miami Palmetto came into that one, only one loss on the year. They got 2 L's now, and NFL Academy's playing well. They played St. Thomas Aquinas last week, and they lost that one 41-38. So losing 41-24 against IMG Academy, that just kind of shows you NFL Academy is finally kind of getting there with the upper echelon of high school football programs.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with the NFL Academy, it's literally players from Europe, high school players, some of whom have come across who actually play for high schools in the United States. But
yeah, they've gotten some guys from Canada and kind of all over the world go to play at NFL Academy.
St. John Bosco and Santa Margarita, that game ongoing, as is the Basha game against South Point Catholic. So if you want to catch those on the NFHS Network, you can, in addition to our game tonight.
Yeah.
Which is also streaming on MaxPreps and the MaxPreps YouTube channel. More coming from halftime at Lake Oswego in just a few moments. 14-3, West Linn leading it.
The MaxPreps Game of the Week is brought to you by GoFan, the leading ticketing solution for high schools. Skip the line and get your tickets instantly on the GoFan app. And by the NFHS Network. Watch your favorite teams live and on demand with the largest broadcast network for high school sports. Here. You try to make it every week, but sometimes life gets in the way. With the NFHS Network, you can be there, catching those important moments live while on the go. And even if you're at the game, you're stuck behind your phone trying to record that one great moment you'll remember forever. With the NFHS Network, live and on-demand games with highlights and game recaps will be ready for you to rewatch and share with friends and family. 30 sports across 50 states, 500,000 games. One way to get closer to the athlete who matters most, yours. NFHS Network. Be in the stands wherever you are.
They score! Cross comes in!
He gone, folks. Look at him go. We're going to have to watch the clock.
$14-3 at halftime as the Lake Oswego dance team is doing their own rendition to Thriller by Michael Jackson. It's not bad.
That was like probably what, like the #1 hit when you were in high school or what?
Junior high.
Oh, wow.
Still junior high, yes.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was, yeah. So I hope they watched the video before they actually started performing. I'm sure their teachers rolled that out. Let's go back to this. We touched on this briefly in the first half, but looking at the NFL talent that's come out of Oregon, we had to roll through that pretty quickly as we went back to live action, Zack.
And Kurtz, I put this in order. So I feel like Troy Polamalu is the best football player to come from Oregon. You know, Pro Football Hall of Famer, 2-time Super Bowl champ with the Pittsburgh Steelers, 8-time Pro Bowler. Mel Renfro, another Pro Football Hall of Famer from Oregon, 2-time Super Bowl champ. Sue was great. I mean, he has that one Super Bowl with the Bucs, one of the best interior defensive linemen over the last 30 years. Justin Herbert, obviously still a lot to go with him, but you know, the trajectory he's on right now, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And Terry Baker, he won a Heisman Trophy, so he comes in at #5 for me. But you also had guys like Danny Ainge from here, only athlete ever to be an All-American in high school at basketball, football, and baseball.
And then was drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays and actually played for them for a while simultaneously playing for the Boston Celtics.
Yeah. And I got to give a shout out to Thomas Tyner. I think a lot of people have mentioned him as the best running back to ever come from this state. Would have had a great career at Oregon, but went through some injuries, shoulder problems, didn't get a chance to really fulfill his college career. But he, had a game where he ran for 643 yards and 10 touchdowns in one game. So it's pretty good.
That's a good season for a lot of players, much less a good game. Let's look at some of the notable alumni, starting with West Linn.
Mitch Williams, man.
I didn't know Mitch Williams went to West Linn.
He did. Class of 1982. Cade McNown, great quarterback at UCLA. Was in the NFL for a little bit. Chael Sonnen, man, was that close to beating Anderson Silva for the 185-pound UFC middleweight belt. Got tapped out in the 5th round. He's a gangster from West Linn, man. Tells you don't go on those mean streets of West Linn. It's a great list. Peyton Pritchard, Alex Forsythe in the NFL, Elijah Molden in the NFL, Tim Tawa playing Major League Baseball for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
That is a good list.
Sam Levitt, too. Chance he could be a first-round draft selection in this next draft coming up over at Arizona State right now.
And Lake Oswego, who going back, Neil Lomax, quarterback with the St. Louis Cardinals. I would know that one.
I threw him on there, man.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
William Stoudemire.
Yep.
He is the second leading scorer in Lake Oswego history behind Kevin Love, who is #2 all-time in the state of Oregon. Obviously the big name on this list. Casey Filkins was as good as any player on the football field for Lake Oswego. He went to Stanford, but he had a great career here for the Lakers.
Yeah, and Kevin Love, his trophies just going through Lake Oswego earlier in the week when I was here, they're just all over the place. National Player of the Year, Gatorade Player of the Year.
Yeah, he was National MaxPreps Sophomore All-American, MaxPreps Junior All-American. He was actually an All-American as a junior, which is kind of rare. Usually that feat goes to seniors. And then he was our MaxPreps actual Player of the Year during the senior season.
Now, that's a lot of hardware in the Love household. 14-3 our score. Teams back out on the field. They're getting ready for the second half of play. We'll get you ready as well right after this.
They score! Cross comes in!
He gone, folks. Look at him go. We're going to have to watch the clock.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
As halftime winds down here at Lake Oswego, let's look at these past matchups again. West Linn holding the edge here as they defeated Lake Oswego last year in the 6A Open Division state title here in the state of Oregon. These are the two top teams in the state, both undefeated coming in. Lake Oswego won the regular season matchup, but for West Linn, they have won 5 of the last 6, going back to 2021.
Yeah, they've had a good stretch going, you know, especially with John Eagle as head coach here since 2022. They've won 2 of those 3 matchups, or 3 of 4, and a good chance. Well, we'll see. We got a long way to go here, but trending towards the direction of 4 of the last 5. But you go back to this one, November 11th, 2016. That was back when Josiah Molden's older brother, Elijah Molden, was here. And then you also had Tim Tawa at quarterback. That was in the playoffs in 6A, 63-21. Tim Tawa, 13-19, 336 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's now playing professional baseball for the Diamondbacks, but he left West Linn as the state's all-time leading passer, still holds that record to this day.
Pretty good quarterback for a baseball player.
Yeah, not bad.
Well, folks, let's look at our keys to the game again. Just revisit those and see what West Linn and Lake Oswego needed to do. Back to basics and let Vigo cook. And Vigo got to cook a little bit in that first half with 13 carries for 72 yards and really pretty decent fundamental football. A few penalties for West Linn, but they pretty much held their own there.
Yeah, I think you look at the keys, you can check it 2-0 for West Linn, because the arm of Curlin really has been inefficient so far here in the first half.
Yeah, 2 of 9 for 23 yards for Curlin. He's had some guys open down the field. He's had great protection from his offensive line, but hasn't been able to connect, and he's got to step up in the second half, I think, Zach.
Oh, for sure.
Lake Oswego is going to win this football game.
He's a guy who will tell you probably, yeah, I should be playing better. You go back to that 3rd and goal situation, they're trailing 7-3. He had Craigwell wide open for a walk-in touchdown, couldn't get enough on the throw, and then the 4th down pass was a little short.
He does have 6 carries for 31 yards. Bell's got 10 for 59. You happy with that so far for him? Almost 6 yards a carry.
Yeah, I think if Lake Oswego wants to win this game, Curlin's going to have to complete those passes that he'll tell you he should have made in the first half. So last year's regular season matchup that Lake Oswego won 21-17, they were trailing 17-7 going into the 4th quarter. So a race in a double-digit lead against West Linn is a very tough task, but a task they have completed before.
The one advantage for Lake Oswego here is they are going to get the ball first to begin the second half of play. So this is a huge drive for the Lakers. I really think, Zach, they need to come down and get a touchdown on this opening possession. If you make it 14-10, but if you don't score or even get a field goal, that's still a one-possession game, and let West Linn get the ball and drive down, now you're down 21-3, 21-6. That gets a lot tougher.
Yeah, this is a big opening drive because, you know, the crowd's a little amped. They're getting excited here. You get the crowd on your side. You get Uncle Mo on your side. That could be big for the Lakers.
It was a good halftime show.
Yeah,
they had a rendition. Yep, exactly. They've got an amped student section.
And you would spot the Cameron Maben San Diego jersey as well.
I did. Well, first there was a Padres jersey, which was surprising me, and that was Cameron Maben, who used to play center field for them.
No chance that girl knows who Cameron Maben is.
No, but her dad does.
Yes, 100%.
That's where she got the jersey from, and I need to find that guy after the game's over.
He's probably wearing a Cameron Maben jersey, too. But yeah, I think this drive's big here. I would expect this drive to be Bell heavy. You got to get LaMarcus Bell going. He's really been the guy that's carried this offense.
Well, Xander Morris to kick off. Gasperson had a pretty good return last time of 40 yards before a holding penalty brought it back. That was the last kickoff before the end of the half, as Morris is going to kick it in Gasperson's direction, and it's going to go out of bounds just inside the 1 yard line, which would be great if it was a punt. But on a kickoff, it means the Lakers are going to have the ball around the 35.
It's like one of those shots you hit in golf, man. It's so close to bouncing on the green and rolling down. You're just about a foot short, and then it rolls into the bunker.
4 penalties in the first half for 41 yards for Lake Oswego. Each team had a sack. 9 first downs for the Lions, 10 for the Lakers, and then penalty-wise for...
Free kick out of bounds. Untouched by the receiving team. Ball will be placed at the 35. 1st and 10.
As we mentioned, penalties. Good time for Jeff Walter to mention what's happening there. 5 penalties in the first half for 55 yards for West Linn. On first down, Curlin's going to run with it, and he is going to get to the 40-yard line for a gain of 5 yards. Again, 6 carries for 31 yards in the first half. He was averaging 5 yards a carry, and he can move the football with his feet, and he gets a nice chunk on first down.
Yeah, that's where he's had success so far in this one. He's been able to make plays with his feet. And if they can start completing some easy passes that he missed in the first half, that's going to go a long way for the Lakers. Because you want to have that well-balanced attack on offense, because you know West Lynn's going to try and stop the run. So if you can open up the passing game, that's going to be huge.
A lot of good options, too, running the football between Curlin, Bell, and Craigwell. As Euchre went in motion to the left-hand side, they're going to give it to Bell here, see if he can get the first down, and he will. He's going to get 6 yards to the 46-yard line. I mean, it's not like Lake Oswego has not moved the football.
No.
They've got a lot of yards in this game, especially in the running game, but
it's what you do in the 20s is what matters, and that's just not where the Lakers have cashed in.
They've been in the red zone twice, but have come away with just 3 points. The other time they got down to the 3-yard line and were stopped on a 4th and goal.
Yeah, luckily for them, there's been some things they've liked that they saw in the first half. Now it's up to them to kind of fix the errors they made to get 7 and not 3.
Back to pass, plenty of time. Here's the throw down the field. There's a connection. Nice job by Lake Oswego as Curlin connects with Villadal, the tight end, for a first down inside the 30.
And Villadal's a guy you want to get involved on offense in the passing game. Has 9 catches for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns coming into this one. But he's just a big-bodied tight end that can find open space, and he's a tough guy to bring down as well.
That was a nice rhythm pass by Curlin. It was drop back, hit your back foot, throw the football.
He just looked a little antsy in the first half, too. Wasn't really setting his feet. And that one, he made a nice, easy throw, dropped it in perfect for the 6'4", 225-pound tight end.
I'm reminded of the John Wooden quote, "Be quick, but don't hurry." And it looked like he was hurrying a lot in the first half when he didn't need to. Here's a pump fake and go down the middle of the field. He's got a man open there, and a connection in the end zone with Agnamel for a touchdown.
Exactly what you needed for this Lake Oswego offense. 2 easy throws for Curlin. Did a good job. His receivers were open. Put it in the air. Let your big guys go track them down.
It's like a different quarterback here in this opening drive of the second half, and the offensive line fired up, is pounding his chest. Out there was Adam Williams, one of the starting offensive linemen, as he goes up for the extra point try to line up there. Is on for that is Gasperson.
And that was just a great job by Curlin to sell the pump fake and wide open receiver.
Gasperson's extra point try is good. 14-10 is our score, and some life on the Laker sideline.
Yeah, and it was a pretty easy drive. They had the 2 runs to start it off, and then boom, 2 long passes, touchdown. And you watch Curlin here on the replay. Does a good job of selling the fake to LaMarcus Bell. Bell's going to draw a lot of eyes. And then you got one-on-one with Agnamel, 3-star junior wide receiver. You can put on the board, Tutty.
A 27-yard touchdown pass there from Kurtz, who 2 of 9 in the first half for 23 yards, 2 of 2 in the second half, and he's easily surpassed that yardage total.
Yeah. And it was, the drive started out perfect for him. The kickoff goes out of bounds. You start this one at your own 35. 4-play drive, 65 yards.
Yeah, establish the run game. You run it 5 yards yourself. You give it to Bell for 6, and you handle the rest in the passing game.
That's exactly what the Lakers needed to come out of halftime. A easy drive that, didn't even take a minute 30 off the clock?
Yeah, 124 in total there to go those 65 yards. Well, if he can keep that up, Kurtz, that really changes the strategy for West Linn. You got to show some consistency if you're the Lake Oswego quarterback, so he'll have to do it again, but this one is going to go into the end zone for a touchback as Gasperson will force West Linn to have a long field. But that's got to be a good sign for the coaching staff. Clearly they had a conversation with him in the locker room because he came out and looked a lot more poised on that possession.
And, that's where it's nice to have a guy like Steve Corey as your head coach. This guy, it's his 34th year. He's got 289 wins. He's not going to panic at halftime if things aren't going well. Knows exactly where the errors were made. They come in on a perfect drive. 2 runs, 2 passes, and that long touchdown.
And one of the things Chris Coleman, the athletic director, said, talking about Coach Corey, is he said he's really good at building up his players. As here's a pass across the middle from Baker, incomplete. The typical, stereotypical thought of a football coach is there's a lot of yelling, screaming, what are you doing, all that kind of stuff. And Coach Corey, Chris Coleman was saying, is just really good at what's the trend now in coaching, which is build up the players, get them to buy in that way, and then they'll run through a wall for you. And he does a really good job of that.
Both these coaches are great leaders of young men as well.
Given how long they've been doing it, you got to be. As here is a handoff, a nice run for Anderson across the 25 out near the 27-yard line.
And it's funny to look back. His dad, Dick Corey, he started his coaching career at Mater Dei, the SoCal Power down in Santa Ana. He was head coach there from 1957 to 1965. He had 30 years of coaching experience in the NFL as well. Was a USC defensive coordinator from 66 to 68 too.
Here's Anderson, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield. That is the first tackle for a loss in the game by Lake Oswego, as there's Cash Wilkes, who we didn't mention much in the first half, but he was one of our keys to the game, and now he shows up big there on 3rd down.
Yeah, coming into the start of the second half, we were talking about the keys to the game, and Lake Oswego cashing in on the keys here. Nice play by the junior linebacker.
A loss of 1 on that play. And that makes it 4th down and 5, and the punt team on. And you talked about the Big Mo, and the momentum is starting to show up on the Lakers sideline as they get a 3-and-out here. Now you've got a late arrival to the special teams unit for West Linn. Good snap, kick away. This is going to be kicked well away, but picked up on a couple of hops by Bowman, who makes one man miss and then is going to just hop to the 43-yard line, where he is tackled and shoved backwards somewhat unceremoniously. They're going to give him forward progress to the 41.
That's a great job by Bowman. That's tough. You got a hot one coming in you, like your shortstop picking it on the hop, but does a good job, because if he doesn't pick that up, that ball's probably rolling to inside the 20.
That's a 7-yard return, but that's great field position nonetheless for Lake Oswego, who may have a hot quarterback. Let's see if that heat check continues for Kurtz.
And that, nice job by Bowman there to give West Linn another good start of field position here.
As a handoff, Bell running left, and West Linn's defense up to the task. That's going to be a 3-yard gain to the 44-yard line.
And, getting back to that last drive, that's where it's nice when you see Kurtz make those completions, because that might, give a chance for LaMarcus Bell to get a couple more alleys to run through.
Well, you said that at some point Kurtz was going to have to execute because West Linn was going to do their best to stop the run game. Yeah. And though they have not, I wouldn't say they've stopped the run game, they've certainly kept Bell somewhat in check. I mean, he's averaging close to 7 yards a carry.
Not a lot of big explosive plays, though.
Correct, and that's the goal here for the Lions. As man in motion, that's Bowman to the far side. Handoff, Bell up the middle. He's going to cross the 45 and then lose the football, and the Lions have recovered. Kennebrew picks it up. The question, was he down? No, it is going to be a turnover.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to watch back. It looked like
Bell looked like forward progress had been stopped.
Yeah.
He is very upset.
But
he was tackled at the 47.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from that angle to see if he was down. But heads up play by West Linn and able to jump on the fumble. Nice job by MJ Kennybrewer to jump on it.
That's a huge turnover, first of the game, and the ball at the Lake Oswego 42-yard line. Baker looking to throw. He's got all day. Pocket collapses, and down he goes. That is the second sack of the game for the Lakers, and it'll be a loss of 3 yards to the 45.
Yeah, it looked like that was Sam Villadal there to bring him down. Nice job coming off the edge. And that's really where Baker's made plays. When there's been pressure in the backfield, he's been able to elude it, but not there.
Villadal now joining his teammate Josh Christensen with a sack apiece.
And if Villadal gets his hands on you, there's a good chance you're going down. 6'4", 225-pound stud.
Here's a handoff. Anderson is going to run left, cut back right. This is a kid who reads his blockers really well. He's going to take it to the 34-yard line and be 2 yards shy of a first down.
And that's what's really most impressive with the Lions so far this year is Viggo Anderson has only played in 2 games, and they're still averaging over 40 points a night. Oh, boy, free first down, offsides.
Christensen jumps.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense number 54. The 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
And it's funny, too, because, you know, the Lake Oswego fans were all into the game, and then the fumble happens, and now you hear the West Linn fans cheering.
That was a big turnover, and the West Linn Lions offense trying to convert, and now you've got a whistle, and it looks like it's going to be a false start.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 6. 5 yards, remains first down.
1st and 15, now back at the 34. Clock starts up again, coming down to the 7-minute mark of the third quarter. Baker. Here comes a blitz. He's hit as he throws. The ball is up in the air and deflected away at the last moment. Boy, that is a great defensive play by Sawyer Best.
What a job, because it looked like he was beat on the play, able to kind of turn his body around and get his hand on it just in time to knock it away. Yeah, great job by Best going up against Josiah Molden there.
That is not an easy play to make. That's not an easy matchup either.
Yeah, Molden, he, doesn't play offense a ton, but when he's out there, the Lions offense is looking for him a lot.
2nd down and 15. Play action. Looking for a hitch and go. Molden's wide open and will walk in for a touchdown.
Went right back at Best, and they hit him with the double move. Best fell down. Easy touchdown for Josiah Molden. Nice job by Sloan Baker to really sell the pump fake, and it fooled Best. Yeah, easy pitch and catch for Baker and Molden.
For Baker, his 2nd passing touchdown of the game to go with 1 rushing touchdown. And converting off the turnover, West Linn able to do that. And now looking for the extra point to make it 21-10. And it's good.
Yeah, that fumble by Bell was huge, but great job by the West Linn offense. He just sold that pump fake, man, and he knew Molden was going to walk in. Just great job. Throw it up, let him track the ball, and he walks across.
That's almost one where if you think about it too long, you're so open. Yeah. Nice job by Molden.
Yeah, good job to go right back to him after the previous play where Best made a great play on the ball. And that time they got Best a little too aggressive, hit him with the double move.
Can be a lonely job being a corner.
Yes. Especially when you got to line up against Josiah Molden, who's the top-rated player in the class of 2027 in the state of Oregon. That's why it's funny, man. You look at Josiah Molden's kind of recruiting and Elijah Molden, who's now with the Chargers. Josiah Molden's got him right now. He's rated just a little bit higher than Elijah was, but there's still a year plus left of high school football. I'm going to tell you this, though, man. Josiah Molden's going to have a chance to be a 5-star when it's all said and done.
Yeah, he can attack you a lot of ways, offensively, defensively. Really, it's like a question as to which way you want to go, as Gasperson's going to catch this ball at the 5-yard line, try to come back to the near side, and he will not quite get to the 20-yard line. That's a return of 14 yards on the kick to the 19. Nice job that time by Xander Morris putting the ball. He's been trying to put the ball in that corner and really isolate Gasperson's ability to return it. And he did a nice job there.
He kind of put the pressure on him, too, because there was a chance maybe that might have rolled out of bounds, but you can't take that chance, because if it doesn't, they got a chance to jump on it, and they're going to have first and goal.
Still, a lot of time left in this game. No reason to panic if you're Lake Oswego. This is where you were going into halftime anyway, down 11, so you're just not even 6 minutes into the second half, and you're in the same spot.
And you got to like what you saw from Kurland on the opening drive of the second half, so that'll allow you here to open up the passing game.
And I think Bell's probably going to be running angry here. He did not think that last one was a fumble, thought he was down, and he's going to be running with some authority here if he gets the football. Euchre in motion to the left-hand side. Bell's going to get it on first down, like that they gave it right back to him. He is going to carry it across the 20, out near the 24. It's like they're going to spot it at the 23-yard line, a gain of 4 yards.
Yeah, this is exactly, what the Lakers want. If they can pick up 4 and 5 yards running the ball, that's going to open up things for Hudson Kurland.
Yeah, no change to your game plan here.
No, there's still, 6 minutes left here, third quarter, a lot of game left.
3 receiver set to the near side for Kurland. Bell stays in the game, tight end left. And now motioning out is Villadal. Kurland going to throw. He's got a lot of time. He's going to throw a deep ball. He's got a man with a step, but unable to get to it was Presley DeLance.
And that was tough, too, because he had Josiah Molden beat there, and just a little overthrown from Hudson Kurland.
Boy, you wonder if you can. I like that they're going for the deep ball, and clearly Kurland's got the arm to make that play, but if you can do something in the interior around 15 yards down the field.
Yeah. They did have that open, too, though. If he puts that on the money there, there's a chance that DeLance scores.
Yeah, it is open. You're right. It's just a lower percentage play, right?
And especially, too, you're going after Josiah Molden one-on-one. That usually doesn't bode well for the offense.
3rd and 6. Here comes the pressure. Kurland rolling away from it. Going to throw, and incomplete.
Yeah, that was just a good job by the West Linn defense to get pressure on Kurland, and he was kind of rolling out to his right, just really couldn't make a good throw.
Cameron Elijah was the target there. And offense is staying on the field at the moment, but it looks like the punting unit's going to come on.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. You should punt here. If you don't convert on this 4th and 6, this game could get ugly quick. Josiah Molden going back to return for West Linn, standing right around his own 45.
Gasperson ready to punt. He's inside his 10. This should be good field position for the Lions, and they have a chance here to make something happen unless we're going to run a fake. Gasperson's going to get up to the line of scrimmage. Now he's going to throw, and that pass is caught, and that's going to be a first down. Staying on his feet is Cash Wilkes, and now you got a penalty marker at the end of the play.
Wow.
Boy, that play had a little bit of everything.
That was the softest pass I ever seen, but it was perfect. Just dropped it in to wait and see what the penalty is. Josiah Molden a little banged up walking back towards the sideline.
An eligible man downfield.
Yeah, that's just a tough penalty.
Ineligible downfield during the pass. 5 yards. Replay 4th down.
And you understand how the penalty happened too. He's running back there for quite a while too. So you're going to have
the offensive line is well released. They were 20 yards down the field. Good idea. Gasperson now standing inside his 5 after the 5-yard penalty. And this time he's going to punt it away conventionally. And that's a good kick. It's going to take a bounce and now bounce back towards Lake Oswego. They will down it at their own 49-yard line. Let's look at some of the upcoming games coming up on the NFHS Network, as well as our MaxPreps Game of the Week from Phoenix, Arizona, or actually Chandler, right outside Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, last I saw, they were both up big, so we're going to get another match of undefeated teams. Arguably the top two teams in the state. Basha, the only team in Arizona ranked in the MaxPreps top 25. Two great Texas games. I can't wait. Lake Travis, Austin Westlake. That's going to be a fun one. And then obviously Aquinas and Heritage in Florida. And Santa Margarita, last I saw, was down 21-7 against St. John Bosco.
Baker, a quick hitter, and a big play. And this time there's going to be no stopping Marquis as he goes all the way down the field, and that will be his second touchdown reception of the game.
Yeah, they're not missing that one, man. A great job. First play, Sloan Baker had his dude Marquis wide open. He takes it in for the touchdown.
Now 3 TD passes for Baker.
And he just got rid of that one quick, and Marquis did the rest.
That's a big one. Boy, making it 28-10 here, pending this extra point. It is good, and that is the score. And that is a huge couple of series for West Linn. Those possessions, 2 touchdowns and as many.
Sloan Baker knew that was going to work right when they broke out into formation, because he caught that snap and he was throwing the ball in one motion. And Marquis, he said, hey, this one counts, right, ref?
Well, right now, winning the field position battle is West Linn. And their 4 touchdowns, Zach, they've had one where they started at their own 20 and drove 80 yards. But all the others have started on the Lake Oswego side of the field. The Lakers 46 in the first half, and then these last 2 possessions at the 42 and the 49.
Yeah, that fumble really biggest play of the game so far. Lake Oswego really had all the momentum. Cut the deficit to 14-10. Had good field position. And then after that fumble, 14-0 West Linn. We still got plenty of time, though, here. You know, if Lake Oswego can score on this drive, cut it back to a 2-score game. They were down 17-7 last year in the regular season meeting and won that one 21-17.
Gasperson going to start at his 4-yard line. Tries to run right, cuts up the middle. He will get out to the 24-yard line for a return of 20 yards. Well, now you need to move the football if you're the Lions, or excuse me, if you're the Lakers. As, you know, if there was 5:04 left in the game, well, it's probably out of reach.
Yeah.
But it's only 5:04 left in the third quarter, and already you're on your 4th possession of the second half, and you only had 4 possessions for each team in the first half.
Yeah, this is they got to speed things up a little bit here now, especially too because they don't want to abandon the running game. That's their bread and butter, but you're going to have to start opening things up a little more here through the air.
You need to have a response if you're Lake Oswego. Curlin with all day to throw down the middle. He's going to overshoot his receiver, incomplete. That was Villadal again, who was open for a moment, but the pass a little long.
Yeah, that's a tough throw to make if you're Curlin too. You have both safeties kind of zoning in on the 3-star tight end.
2nd down and 10.
But yeah, if you're Lake Oswego here, you got to get Agnemel the ball too. He's one of the best wide receivers in the state.
Curlin looking to throw. He's going to roll left. He's got a man open, and that is going to be caught. Nice job, far side. Pulling that one in is Elijah, and that's a 1st down.
That ball hit him so hard in the chest, his mouthpiece fell out.
Yeah, I thought it was like, is that the football? I couldn't tell what that was at first. That's why I hesitated, folks. But no, it was his mouth guard.
So, yeah, little juice on that throw from Curlin.
No kidding.
Nice job by Elijah, though. Come back to your quarterback. You run the route right past the 1st down marker, exactly how you draw it up.
Gain of 13 on that last play. Curlin play action. He's got all day again. Across the middle, a little bit too high. Agnemel. Boy, that's the thing, too. Curlin's getting all kinds of time, and he's just sailing it high a lot to his receivers when they're open across the middle. If he was connecting on these passes, boy, he would be piling up the yardage at this point.
He's kind of got happy feet back there too. You got to just set yourself in the pocket and make a strong throw. And we saw that on the opening drive here. But yeah, the offensive line's doing a good job. He's just kind of throwing the ball, not in one motion here, and a lot of overthrows tonight.
You're just waiting for him to get untracked.
Yeah.
You know, ton of potential here in this young man. Curlin with Bell to his right. 2nd down and 10. Euchre's going to motion now to the right side of the offensive line. Here's a quick one underneath. Let his receiver make a move and run with it. And that looks like it's going to be enough for a 1st down. Nice job by Agnamel getting out to the sticks at the 47-yard line. Let's see where they're going to spot it. If they're going to put it at the 48. Looks like that's, well, let's see. The official juggling it there, and now that means they lose a yard.
And then he gave him a bad spot, but he got the 1st down.
Either way.
The ball should really be at the 48, but nice job by Agnamel there. 6'3", 205-pound junior. He's a tough guy to bring down. I think that ref was just juggling it too much. He forgot where the actual ball was supposed to get marked.
At least it was a 1st down either way. The ball at the 47. Bell this time to the left-hand side. Play action to Bell. Looking to pick up a blitzer. He does. Pocket collapses. Curlin running away from it. Now he's going to throw, and he's going to throw a pick. Picked off by Kenny Brew. Kenny Brew recovered the fumble earlier, is going to be dropped by Bell at the 47-yard line.
And that's just a matter of trying to do a little too much there. You want to try and, just throw that one out of bounds, throw it away, and live for another down. But trying to make a big play. And Kenny Brew all over it. Interception for West Linn. 2nd turnover forced in the 2nd half.
You're right on that, though, Zach. I thought Curlin was going to throw the ball away. He's run to the sideline. He's just trying to make something happen. And if you aren't accurate on the throw, you have a guy in the vicinity. But if you're not accurate on the throw, then that happens. And Kenny Brew with the 2nd forced turnover, or at least recovering that fumble that was forced earlier, and now the interception.
Yeah, good job by West Linn's defense to get in the backfield and put pressure on Curlin, force him to make a mistake.
Baker's going to step up and run after a couple of fakes, and he will get to the 46-yard line for a gain of 1.
And if you're the Lakers defense here, you got to find a way to punch that ball out.
I mean, this is the 3rd drive in a row where the Lions are starting out on the Lakers side of the field. And the last 2 times they've scored touchdowns. They are 3 for 3 scoring TDs when starting on the Lake Oswego side of the field, as Anderson will take it down inside the 45 to about the 42-yard line. That'll give him 4 yards on the play and set up a 3rd down and about 5. Big 3rd down for this Lake Oswego defense.
I thought they're going to maybe get the offsides there, but
I don't think Christensen, he didn't get really into the neutral zone.
Yeah,
he just took a half step. He's backed up a little bit too. Handoff, Anderson running right, and Anderson is going to get to the 41-yard line.
Exactly what you needed if you're the Lakers defense. Now you put it in West Linn's hands here. Hey, you got a 4th and 4 plus territory, but you're at the 41.
I'd go for it here. I
think that's the move here. At least try and get them to jump off sides and then back it up 5 yards and punt. But yeah, I'd expect them to go for this.
Yeah, your defense is playing well. It's forced 2 turnovers here in the 2nd half already. If you don't get it, you lean on them a little bit. And if you get up a touchdown, you're still up by 11.
Yeah.
Baker's going to run the option. He's going to keep it himself. He's got a 1st down. And he sticks the landing at the end of the spin on the tackle.
Yeah, Sloan Baker, man, he's got some moxie to his game. That was a good job. He knew where he needed to get. Big 1st down. That's you give Lake Oswego a little hope if they get a stop there, but that's a big conversion on 4th down. And I like the confidence, too. You go for that one, and he hits you with the 1st down celebration.
The ball at the 36-yard line. This time Anderson, who's quickly across the line of scrimmage. He will be stopped at the 31 for a gain of 5.
Yeah, I'd expect a lot of runs for West Linn's offense. Just keep that clock going.
Craigwell with the tackle.
And, we were talking earlier in the game, too. Obviously you want to win this one, but there's a good chance these two teams are going to meet again in the 6A Open Division playoffs. Yep. And that's really going to be the one that matters. We saw that last year. West Linn came back and won 44-30, and really a game that was even more of kind of a blowout than that 44-30 score indicates. They were in control of that game from start to finish.
Anderson, the carry again, going to bounce to the outside. He took that one. He was heading to the left side of the offensive line, then skates along the line of scrimmage and then bounces around to the outside and gets close to a first down. He might be a yard short, maybe a half a yard short.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked here if Sloan Baker calls his own number here. We've seen him with a lot of third, and we just saw the fourth down conversion earlier with his feet.
Or you could let the clock wind down. Let's see. I don't know. On the play clock, they may need to snap this before the end of the third quarter.
I think we got to get one more play.
Baker has Anderson to his left. He's going to keep it himself. You're right. Zack calls his own number. He needed a yard, and he gets to the 24-yard line, picking up 3. And another first down. Well, that ends the third quarter. It started out with a Lake Oswego touchdown, but the Lions have responded with 2 of their own, and they're marching towards a third. 28-10. Back with more fourth quarter action right after this.
Comes in!
The national scoreboard. We just got a quick update on that Santa Margarita St. John Bosco game. I think there was just a score right before we came back from break. It's now 21-14.
Now Trent Mosley with the touchdown run for the Eagles. That game's got about 3 minutes or so left in the third quarter.
So they got a long way to go there.
Yeah, and Bosco's got the ball. They're on 42. So Santa Margarita's got a great defense, so they're always in the game.
Anderson with his team now going left to right at the 24-yard line. He will get 2 yards down to the 22. Lake Oswego trying to hang in this game by their fingernails, and West Linn trying to put that doubt. I mean, when you've won 5 of the last 6, even though Lake Oswego won the regular season matchup, you won the state championship, you're the defending state champion, and then you do this with a new quarterback on your opponent's field.
We kind of saw this last week too, except Duncanville was the home team, but they've had a lot of success over DeSoto. And
Baker is looking in the corner, and he was trying to find Gavin Todd, but incomplete. And we have a penalty marker in the backfield. This is a holding indication. Well, we got the end of that. It is still going to be second down. It is a holding call, that 10-yard march off against West Linn, just their second penalty here of the second half. And they're now back at the 32-yard line, looking at a second down and 18.
Yeah, I think they're still discussing if they want. I mean, I would accept the penalty here. You make it second and long opposed to 3rd and 8.
And that's the conversation Coach Corey's probably having on the sideline. Just trying to get a clarification.
Yeah. I think maybe Corey even wanted it backed up even further.
Or is it something having to do with Kenny Brew? Well, Kenny Brew is going to have to come off. I don't know if it was something that Coach Corey pointed out to the officials, but Luke Cutting is going to come on at wide receiver and will line up on the near side, along with Tott
And that's big, too, because now you have, West Linn's top 2 production wide receivers not on the field.
Well, just throw the ball out to Anderson and let him work in space. It's a pretty good idea. He's going to make up that yardage and more. Run out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
And it's funny now because you
gain of 11.
Have almost what it would have been if you would have declined the holding penalty. So now you got 3rd and 7.
11-yard pass play there. It's just that little hesitation. He's so quick. He just makes you stop your feet briefly. And I'm impressed with this kid.
It's so
Vigo
funny.
Anderson is fun to watch.
I was legit about to say I like what I've seen from Vigo Anderson tonight, and he's still kind of getting back into game shape. This is his 2nd game back from returning from injury. He played in the season opener as well.
Baker's going to keep it himself. He's going to spin off a tackler, make a guy miss, and then pick up the 1st down at the 9.
Wow.
What a run by Baker. He could have been stopped twice short of the 1st down marker, and he ends up with a 1st down anyway.
I was starting to think in my head already, yep, they're going to go for this one on 4th down again. But, man, Sloan, Baker, nice spin move there. And making defenders tackle the air.
I mean, if you're breaking arm tackles as a quarterback, you're pretty strong.
And, Sloan Baker, 5'10", 170 pounds. Not the biggest guy, but he plays a lot bigger than his height and weight. He's just a gamer, man. He's got that moxie to his game. He's the type of dude you want at quarterback.
1st and goal from the 9-yard line. He already has 3 touchdown passes, 1 rushing touchdown. He's going to keep it himself. He's looking to add to that rushing total. He's not going to get there. Tossed out of bounds shy of the 5-yard line. This is the definitive stamp that West Linn is trying to put on this football game.
Yeah.
Their 3rd drive in a row starting on the Lake Oswego side of the field. This ball out of bounds at the 7-yard line, a gain of 2.
Well, tonight they're definitely showing who the top dog in the state of Oregon is.
Both teams came into the game undefeated. They both play in the 6A Three Rivers Conference.
It's like, obviously Modern Day's lost a couple games, but that Trinity League down in Southern California, this is like that version of it up here in Oregon.
Baker going to roll out left. Looking, has a man open, and that is incomplete.
He had him, too.
Went right through the hands of Kenny Ritchie.
That would have been a tough catch, too, for Ritchie.
I mean, though
he could have made.
And as the quarterback, that's the only spot. Yeah. It's either your guy gets it or it's incomplete. Yeah. You don't want to throw it a little behind him because then that can look like a pick 6 going the other way from the end zone.
And that's not what you want if you're Sloan Baker. So, yeah, that's a good throw. Looks like we're going to get a timeout from West Linn.
Timeout, West Linn. They're first to the half.
Now down to 2 lefts are the Lions, but a big play coming up here on 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line. And either way, I think at this stage, up 28-10, Zach, if you don't get in the end zone here, a short field goal to go up by 3 scores is the way to go if you don't get it.
I think if you get it inside the 5, you think about maybe going for it on 4th and goal. Because at the end of the day, if you don't get it, you force Lake Oswego to go 95-plus yards, too, to score.
That's a fair point.
But, man, this is sure shaping up for a perfect swan song for John Eagle. I mean, he's going to have a chance here to potentially go undefeated, maybe win another state title. That's exactly how you want to go out. And during his 3 years prior to this one at West Linn, they haven't had an undefeated team yet. They've had 1 loss in all 3 of those years. He ran the table twice at Camas in Washington when he won state titles in 2016 and 2019.
West Linn has their last 2 games at home against Tualatin and Oregon City, whereas Lake Oswego,
you can chalk those down as dubs,
goes on the road at Oregon City and at Lake Ridge, who is a rival.
Yeah.
So then you could roll into the playoffs undefeated if you're West Linn. Here is a pass play. Nice misdirection, and that is a touchdown. Molden with a painful score, but a score nonetheless.
Man, he sure,
like Rocky Balboa in the first movie, slow off the canvas, but he will take the touchdown.
He sure did a good job finding the end zone there, because it looked like it was going to be tough when he had to cut in, but when you're Josiah Molden, man, you make the hard look easy.
That is the 4th touchdown pass of the game for Sloan Baker. Oof, Molden went high and took a shot in the ribs.
Right to the ribs.
That does not feel good.
He said, I don't care, man. I'm getting in the end zone here. I'm getting my second touchdown of the night.
And the extra point, good.
And, I mean, it's crazy to think that he's getting recruited as a corner when he's making plays like this at wide receiver. Yes, I know. It's been a tough night for the Lake Oswego fans. But, hey, this one does matter. But the one, hopefully, in the playoffs is going to be the one that really matters.
And we will have a lot of those games for you on the NFHS network in the early rounds, and then certainly the all the semifinals and all the divisions here in the state of Oregon, and the championships as well. So you can catch those games on your home for high school sports, the NFHS network. MaxPreps, I'm sure, will have a lot of great coverage as we look at the top 25 rankings. West Linn leading this game 35-10. They're not in the top 25. Got to think they might move up a little bit from 93, but
yeah, they might get into the 80 range.
Okay,
it's a big win.
All right.
So he kind of dominated the whole second half after that fumble.
St. John Bosco, the number 1 team in the country, up by just 7 the last time we looked against Santa Margarita, the number 9 team. Santa Margarita in their first year under head coach Carson Palmer.
He's doing a great job, man. He's got a great staff with him as well. Steve Fafita, outstanding defensive coordinator for the Eagles.
And this ball is going to go into the end zone, a touchback. And Lake Oswego starting at their own 20-yard line.
And, you know, Josiah Molden playing offense, too. His big bro, Elijah Molden, did that as well. His final 3 years of high school, he ran for 2,639 yards, 36 touchdowns. He had 85 grabs for 1,267 yards and 19 touchdowns. He went on to be a big-time DB at Washington and then drafted in the 3rd round by the Tennessee Titans, pick number 100. And then he just signed, I think it was like a 3-year, $18 million deal before this season with the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh loves him.
Well, with Josiah Molden, you've got a lot of options when he goes to college.
And it's crazy to think, man, they're 2 of 8 kids for the Molden, so.
Are they the oldest?
Elijah's the 2nd oldest.
Okay. Here's Curlin with a nice spin move once again. He's going to get good yardage, a gain of 8 out to the 28-yard line.
Josiah's kind of middle of the pack. They got a youngster. Ezra's the youngest, I believe, so he'll probably be like class of like 40 or something.
How's his 40 time? When was he, like 4 years old?
He'll probably be more like class of 20 or 40, 2040, something like that. So
okay.
But yeah, I mean,
he's 3.
It's great genes, man. Alex and Kristen Molden.
Curland with some time, going to roll out right. Now he's going to run for a first down and more, and he's going to run out of bounds at the 37.
And, I mean, you look at Alex Molden, too. He was the first defensive back drafted in the 1996 NFL draft, number 11 overall by the Saints. You got great coaches here on defense with NFL experience because their defensive coordinator, Anthony Newman, he spent 12 years in the NFL as well.
Well, he's done a nice job tonight.
And, I mean, a lot of people think he's going to be the next coach when John Eagle retires.
Curlin throwing and too high over Agnamel.
And, you know, a lot of people, too, got an injury down on the field.
Yeah, it looks like one of the West Linn defensive linemen rushing on that particular play.
That's never good to see when you see them holding their knee. Hope he's all right.
Well, Curland does a nice job with his feet.
Yeah.
But tonight, just a little bit off the mark in the passing game. Against with open receivers, too. I'm a little surprised. And every time the ball's a little high. He's not underthrowing anybody.
He just really hasn't settled into the game. He just has kind of looked a little uncomfortable most of the night. A lot of overthrows. Really, the one drive to open the second half, best he looked. He had 2 completions, 2 long passes, 1 went for a touchdown.
Now, one of the interesting things you see here, too, is Coach Corey has come all the way out on the field. I think that's Silas Reynolds who was down there. And Coach Corey comes out. And, you know, we were talking to the coaching staffs before the game, and they said, look, once you get on the field, it's a football game.
Yeah.
We're going to battle. But he's both to a man, both coaching staff said a lot of respect for each other. A lot of the kids know each other. They know a lot of the kids on the other sideline, not just from these games, 7-on-7 leagues, youth leagues. I mean, this is a tight community, even though the school's not far apart, but a lot of mutual respect out there with these programs. And following as a nice pass deflection on a pass to the near side intended for Villadal. That's broken up nicely by Jake Hamper, the safety for the Lions. But you see a lot of mutual respect, and it comes from both of these head coaches demanding that of their staffs and their players.
Yeah, you know, if you're a parent and you send one of your kids to play for either one of these programs, easy decision.
Yes.
Your kid's in very good hands. These are, you know, it's a game at the end of the day. It's football. But these two coaches are teaching you so many qualities and everything you need as a young man to kind of develop into that next stage of your life.
Curlin rolls, he throws, and again too high, this time looking for Cole Callahan. And that'll be incomplete.
I tell you what, man, 39 out here, he's a great ball boy. He's running out there, did about a 30-yard sprint. Love the hustle.
There was a pass play earlier in the game, probably the second quarter. Ball ended up far side of the field in the corner to our left, and that kid did a 65-yard sprint all the way across the field to get that football.
I love it, man.
Usually they wait, like midfield, someone brings it to him. No, not this guy.
I'm getting it. That's my job.
Curlin on 4th down and 10. They're going for it. He's got all day. He's throwing the ball up in the air and incomplete, but we're going to have a penalty marker as a little bit of contact between Molden and Villadal. And now Molden looks like he's a little dinged up. This is not the first time he's been slow to get up in the game.
He's going to need an ice bath after this one. I hope it's nothing serious, but he's kind of holding his ankle. He's kind of hoping it's maybe just a cramp.
Pass interference.
As we go to the
defense
penalty.
number 6. 15 yards from the spot. That yardage results in a first down.
We started the game at 55 degrees. It's now dropped to 51 here in Lake Oswego.
Oh, he just kind of lost his balance there as he was going for trying to make a play on the ball. And he's still down here on the near sideline, right on the Lake Oswego side. He jumps up, but he's not putting a lot of pressure on his leg. Yeah, he just kind of came down funny on that right leg.
Oh, yeah, trying to plant.
Yeah. That's always what you don't want to see, too. I mean, it's a 35-10 game here in the fourth quarter, and you just want to see all your guys come out healthy. Hopefully it's just, he's putting a little more pressure on his leg, though. That's good to see. Hopefully he can just kind of walk this one off. He's walking off by himself now. That's a good sign to see.
Well, he's been knocked around a little bit. I mean, he had that rib shot on the touchdown. He was limping around a little bit in the first half. Now here, I mean, I know he wants to play as much as anybody, but you could probably retire his services for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, I think he's good. He got 2 touchdown receptions, been a lockdown corner.
That's the 16th first down for Lake Oswego, but still just 10 points in the game. Here's a quick hitter to Agnamel far side, and that will give him 7 yards down to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, I think...
and now we got another player down for West Linn.
Yeah, hard to see the number from here, but...
It's like the third defensive player and almost as many snaps for West Linn. You had Reynolds go down, then you had Molden go down, and now you've got a third player. Well, it was blackout night here at Lake Oswego, but despite the fact that the student section and fans showed up with a ton of school spirit, it has been mostly West Linn, especially in the second half, as they have scored on their last 3 possessions, all of which have started on the Lake Oswego side of the field.
I was checking in on that. Bosco scored. Koa Malaulu touchdown pass to Madden Williams. 27-14 Braves. That one has gone into the fourth quarter. Man, St. John Bosco sure looked good. They looked good in the game we did. They're trying to work out leg, kind of stretch out his leg a little bit there.
Is that Marquis maybe over there? As you see, once again, Coach Corey going and checking on.
I saw the 3 at the end. It looked like 13, but I'm not 100% sure. I saw the 3 for sure as the second digit on the jersey.
You know, it's rare for the opposing coach to go all the way out there to check on the other team's player.
Yeah.
But actually, it's
33.
33. Okay, so not Marquis, it's Zack Vandenbrink. That's another big-time linebacker for West Linn, who's having to be helped off the field. So Reynolds and Vandenbrink now to go along with Molden.
Now West Linn's just hoping, hey, let's just get this game over with and
no kidding,
leave with some healthy bodies. Because both teams, 2 games left after this one.
2nd down and 3 here now for Kurland, who's trying to guide his team down the field on a touchdown drive. He's going to step up and run a QB draw. He needs 3 yards. He's going to dive forward to the 35-yard line and pick up that 1st down.
And if you're the Lakers, man, score quick, onside kick, rinse and repeat.
I do like that we still operate without the NFL rule of having to call that in advance. I like the surprise onside kick that you used to have. Saints ran that once in a Super Bowl. It worked well. It's like dropping down a sacrifice bunt. Here's a pass across the middle. Agnemel. There were about 5 white jerseys in the vicinity. That'll be incomplete.
Yeah, good business decision by Agnemel there. I'm not going up to try and get this one and just get blasted.
That's right. Unless you're Lloyd's of London insurance policy is.
Unless the game's tied, it's like a must score. I'm thinking about it, but 35-10, we're gonna go 2nd and 10 here.
Kurland staying in the passing game is going to roll out slightly left and will hit his man. That is going to be pulled in by DeLance. 3rd time they've tried to find him. DeLance going to make the catch at the 22. That'll move the chains again.
Kenny Ritchie trying to argue and say that's incomplete, but the ref's not buying it. 1st down Lakers. We'll see on the replay here.
Well, they had another receiver underneath. You had a couple options there if you were Hurlin. And Kurland did a nice job with the completion. He's going to throw across the middle. That's a nice job keeping his feet steady and a good catch by Villadal at the 10. Another 1st down, setting up 1st and goal.
I do like the playmakers that they have for Kurland. Villadal, Agnemel, and I think Presley DeLance is going to be kind of that secret weapon they break out in the playoffs. He's been targeted a few times here tonight. Only a sophomore.
Kurland throwing a little fade, and that is a catch and a touchdown. Agnemel high points the football. What a great play and a nice response for Lake Oswego. They drive 80 yards.
That is a big-time catch. I mean, there wasn't much room for him to work on the sideline there. High points it, able to get his foot down. He's one of the top wide receivers in the state of Oregon for a reason. Nice job. High points that ball and gets his foot down.
That's a great catch. They slice into this lead a little bit. We still have 7:50 left in the game.
Yeah, I mean, that was great coverage on the play. Just you got the 6'3", 205-pound junior to go up there and make plays.
Well, and Tyson Donnerberg at 6'2".
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty tall, and he was right there. Looks like Kurland was thinking we're going for 2 here, which is not a bad idea.
Agnemel, a 3-star. He's got a few offers. Sac State, Portland State, and Idaho. I'd expect some P4 schools to start hitting him up pretty soon.
Kurland's going to roll right. He's going to throw, and that's going to be broken up. Nice job by West Linn. The score will stay 35-16, a 19-point advantage right now for the Lions.
Yeah, you're down 3 scores. There's 8 minutes left, 7:50. I'd expect an onside attempt here for the Lakers.
19 first downs in the game for Lake Oswego.
They've done a good job moving the ball. It's just kind of been when they've gotten inside the 20, things have kind of slowed down, and then those 2 crucial turnovers in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I mean, Kurland, 11 connections on 25 attempts. I mean, if he's 18 of 25, this is a different football game right now.
He's definitely picked it up in the second half.
He has.
He's had really good second half. Still a couple of overthrows, but I love his grit. He's tough.
Well, one of the things, if you look at an NFL comparable, I think about John Elway or Brett Favre when they first came into the league, and everything was a fastball.
Yeah.
And receivers were like, you got to let's talk touch. Yeah. Can we talk some touch here? Because everything 6 yards away, and it was coming at you at 90.
I still don't know if Brett Favre ever learned or listened. John Elway did.
Yeah, Elway figured it out, and I think Hurlin, he's got such a strong arm. Here's the onside kick, and it will be grabbed right at midfield by West Linn. It's learning how to control your talents.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the sense that if we Curlin was warming up before the start of the second half, and he was just throwing easy 50-yard passes, no problem, could do that all day, probably good from 60, 65. I mean, if he put a little mustard into it, maybe 70. I mean, he's got a good arm.
On that touchdown drive to start the second half, the two passes were just nice touch passes too.
Well, now Baker taking things over at midfield, and he's going to keep it on the ground. Anderson running left. He's got a blocker in front of him. He's got a first down, and he's tackled finally at the 35-yard line for a gain of 15.
Jackson Grates and Dylan Marquez, the two tackles on this Lake Oswego, on the West Linn offensive line, they've done a great job. Xander Mishkin and Isaiah McMurray.
Yeah, there's been a lot of room for Anderson.
Yeah.
And he reads his blocks well and moves around them very nicely. West Linn's in no rush.
Yeah, clock's your friend here. You're going to want to run that play clock all the way down to inside 5 seconds before you snap it.
Play clock being kept by the back judge. He signals we're under 5. They take the snap and give it to Anderson again. Anderson going to be tackled at the 30 for 5 yards.
And if you're Vigo Anderson here, the only thing that matters is ball security. 2 hands on the ball. You cannot turn it over here. That's really the only thing that could get Lake Oswego back in this one.
Second down and 5. And now we've got a whistle, and this will stop the clock briefly with 6:45 to play.
A lot of wardrobe issues here tonight, it looks like, as another player's got to come off the field.
Anderson now with 25 carries in the game.
He's a bulldog, man.
He is. He doesn't look winded.
He's just glad to be back out there. He's missed 4 games this year. Senior year, wants to have a big season. Had a monster junior campaign, over 1,500 yards rushing, and had arguably his best game in the state title win.
He's got 145 tonight.
Yeah, he's churning them out, man. He's done a good job picking up those hard-earned yards.
Baker and Anderson were having an extended conversation with the referee, Jeff Walter. I think just killing some time. Where are you going for dinner after this?
Where's the best place to eat out here, man?
Got any recommendations? Baker gives to Anderson. Anderson tries to bounce to the outside before he is hauled down by Craigwell. No gain.
Yeah, nice job by Craigwell there. We haven't seen Vigo Anderson go down a lot at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Craigwell playing the middle spot. Does a nice job finding. See, Anderson hides so well.
Yeah.
It's just hard to find him. And the next thing you know, he's scooted right on by you.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the offensive line, you got 4 of the 5, 6'3" and taller, and Vigo Anderson 5'8". So it does a good job to kind of hide behind that offensive line, finds a hole, and hits that burst.
3rd and 5. West Linn now with under 5 on the play clock will play action. Baker's going to dump it off, and he gives it to one of his favorite targets. Ashton Marquis picks up the first down.
And you look at this, too. I mean, he's been making plays all night. Only a junior, Baker only a junior, so this is going to be a nice connection even next year as seniors.
I mean, this has been a slower march down the field, but starting at midfield, They're now at the 15-yard line and looking to score again. They've scored the last 3 times they've touched the football, and 4 out of their last 5 possessions going back to the first half as West Linn's offense. Anderson the carry. He is going to be tackled. That's Jacob Alar getting there first. Gain of 4 to the 11.
And West Linn came into this one riding an 11-game win streak. I think you can go ahead and chalk it down to 12 now. But yeah, they've been on a tear since losing last year during the regular season against Lake Oswego.
And that game at West Linn, so a revenge game.
Yeah.
We talked about a revenge game earlier on. It was a revenge game for Lake Oswego. It's actually a revenge game for West Linn.
Yeah.
Now they're winning on their opponent's field.
Because, I mean, they're the ones that cost them a chance at having their second ever undefeated season. Back in 2016, they went undefeated with Tim Tawa.
Baker to Anderson again, and Anderson is going to be stopped. Probably a loss of 1. Once again, that is Alar getting in there first to make the tackle.
So what are we thinking, partner? Is it pretty easy choice for player of the game?
I think so. I mean, folks, we'll let you figure out our thinking at home.
Yeah,
we're not gonna.
Yeah, we still got another 3:25 left. I think the fans are pretty smart. I think they have a good idea as well.
Fairly savvy.
Yeah. I think you could mention, Marquis.
Yep.
Josiah Molden, great game.
Absolutely. You've got also Kenny Brew with the fumble recovery and the interception.
Yep.
2 big turnovers in the second half as Baker is going to keep it himself and take it inside the 10 down to the 8, setting up 4th down. And looks like quickly the field goal unit is going to come on for West Linn. This would be the ball spot at the 9-yard line, about a 26-yard attempt. See, they're going to move back to the 17, so 27 yards for Xander Morris.
They're just trying to mess with it. Now they move back for 26.
Okay, 26, sure, all right.
Hey, watch this.
Look, it's up to you guys down there. I'll just call it. You line up, I'll tell you where it is. High snap, ball down. Morris's kick, a little bit of instead of an end over end, more east to west as opposed to north to south, but it works.
All that matters is it goes through those 2 long goalposts.
West Linn with the 26-yard field goal to extend their lead, 38-16. As you look at those past matchups, Zach, you just talked about going back to 2016.
Yeah, West Linn has kind of dominated the series. Won both matchups in 21, 22, 23, dropped the regular season meeting last year, and they've won the last 2. So they've had a lot of success here lately and have done a great job since John Eagle came over as head coach. They'll now move to 4-1 in this matchup with Coach Eagle. And, I mean, this year he's gone perfect for him so far. It's exactly how he drew it up. I don't think there's any better way you can go out as a coach if you run the table, go undefeated, and win another state title. And it would be the first ever back-to-back for West Linn. They won in 2016, 2022, and 2024.
22-point advantage with 2:13 to play is after that 26-yard field goal. Xander Morris kicking off. And from the 1-yard line, Lake Oswego breaking a tackle. Heading up the field, nice return. Stutter step move down the sideline goes Cole Callahan, and he's finally tackled inside the 30 at the 27.
Nice return for Callahan, man. You kind of still give a little hope. I mean, you still need a lot to go your way if you somehow come back in this one, but it starts with that nice return from Callahan.
Certainly shortens the field, lets you put more points on the board. But, the key to this game, in my mind, was Lake Oswego comes out. They're down 14-3 at the half. They come out and they score right away. Then they get a 3-and-out. And I'm not going to say it was a controversial call necessarily. I think if you were LaMarcus Bell, you would say, raise your hand and go, absolutely it was. But he thought he was down. The ball popped loose. Yeah. It was recovered. Ball was given to West Linn. They immediately go down and score. They get a 3-and-out. They score again on a short field. And that pretty much cemented things.
Yeah, you're 100% right there. That was the key play of the game. It's 14-10. Lakers have all the momentum, and that fumble really gave it back to West Linn.
New quarterback in the game for Lake Oswego. That is Ryder Lem, a junior, getting a chance to get some snaps. He's going to throw this ball incomplete as Hudson Curlin, the senior. You're looking at the future of quarterbacking here at Lake Oswego with Lem out there, a 6-foot, 170-pound junior.
And Luke Smith was close enough in the vicinity to not get an intentional grounding on that play.
2nd down and 10. Under 2 minutes to go, folks. Stay tuned for the MaxPreps Game of the Week post-game show coming up after the conclusion of this one, as we look like we're going to have an offside call against West Linn.
Do we still want
to the
folks
snap,
to wait to see?
Encroachment. Defense number 14. 5 yards. Remains 2nd down.
And in the industry, it's called a tease.
Yes.
Zach, if you want to.
I'm just teasing it even more.
That's right. You want to keep people around for the player of the game?
Yeah.
They got to stick with us to the post-game show. Here is a handoff, and not much there as getting his first carry, Mike King West, a junior.
I just hope we don't get any more penalties, man, because every time that ref talks, it's blowing right into our ears.
You know, we haven't had a ref mic very much this year.
Yeah.
And now that we do,
in modern day, where it was, that was rough too.
That was very loud. Look, there's a lot of things Zach and I put up with here up there, right?
We got the tough part of the job, huh?
We better be careful. Carl Harper, our director, will cut our mics before the end of this game is over. Looking to throw is Lem on 3rd down. Now he's going to run.
Okay.
Trying to get the 1st down. He needs to get to the 17-yard line, and he will dive forward to the 15.
Yeah, nice job by Ryder, man. Usually when you name Riders, you're a pretty good quarterback. Folsom's got a good one in Ryder Lions.
Well, Ryder Lem trying to, I don't know how much Lions runs the football, but if you're a Folsom quarterback, you got to run. Yeah, you got to run pretty. Going back on my history of Folsom quarterbacks in the Sacramento area, you've got to be able to run as well as pass. Lem's going to hand it off this time to West. West up the middle, going to fight for extra yardage and take it down to the 6 for a gain of 9.
But, man, I'm sure impressed with what I saw from West Linn tonight. From start to finish, they played a good football game from the start and picked it up in the second half, especially those 2 turnovers. Once they got those 2 turnovers on defense, that kind of set the tone and took full control of this one.
Under 20 seconds to play here as a handoff. West is going to be stopped in the backfield, and that will do it. Lake Oswego will not run another play. West Linn wins the regular season matchup between these two teams. They moved to 7-0 overall as the Lakers dropped to 6-1, but I don't think this is the last time these two teams are going to face each other this season. Very likely they will match up at some point in the OSAA 6A playoffs, which will start in November.
Yeah, I think this is round 1 of round 2 coming up later, and West Linn really dominated this one, especially after that fumble by LaMarcus Bell.
Well, folks, we come to the post-game show in just a few moments, the MaxPreps National Game of the Week. We'll be back with that as West Linn wins this 38-16.
They scored! Cross comes in!
He gone, folks. Look at him go. We're going to have to watch the clock.
here. You try to make it every week, but sometimes life gets in the way. With the NFHS Network, you can be there, catching those important moments live while on the go. And even if you're at the game, you're stuck behind your phone trying to record that one great moment you'll remember forever. With the NFHS Network, live and on-demand games with highlights and game recaps will be ready for you to rewatch and share with friends and family. 30 sports across 50 states, 500,000 games. One way to get closer to the athlete who matters most, yours. NFHS Network. Be in the stands wherever you are.
It's the postgame show, and a jubilant West Linn student body and football team out on midfield here at Lake Oswego. It was blackout night for the Lake Oswego fans. Looks like it was camo night for West Linn.
Man, what second storm filling we've seen? I think it was Chattanooga, Tennessee with Baylor and McCauley. We saw that one too, but well, it's been the road teams with the storm in the field.
38-16 the final, and our tease is over. There's your player of the game right there, Sloan Baker, accepting congratulations from Josiah Agnamel, and he did a great job. I think maybe a test for him coming in his first year starting at the varsity level, and he answered it against an arch rival who they're likely to see in the playoffs.
I think if you look up the definition of moxie, you might see Sloan Baker there. I love this dude's confidence playing the quarterback position. You can see the team really rub off on him what he's doing there on the field. 4 touchdowns through the air, 1 rushing. Kid's got a lot of swag playing the quarterback position.
Yeah, 12 of 18 for 214 throwing the football, 12 carries for 50 yards and a score as well. 5 touchdowns he's responsible for on the game. Guess how many touchdowns they scored?
How many?
5.
Yes.
There you go.
So I was letting the crowd kind of...
Oh, sorry. Did I jump ahead? I buzzed in early on Jeopardy.
West Linn's had some legit quarterbacks. Sam Levitt played 1 year here to close out his high school career. Tim Tawa is the best to ever come through here at West Linn. And Sloan Baker making a name for himself, only a junior, but he's led West Linn to a 7-0 start, and he had his best game in the biggest game of the year.
Yeah, West Linn's coaching staff has to be pleased with what they saw tonight out of Baker, and how would he respond in this type of a situation? They've had a lot of wins this season that some were closer than others. Lake Ridge last week, they won by 10, and then against Sumner of Washington, they won that game by just 1 touchdown, 31-24. But everything else has been a little bit easier, and the next couple of games, you can stretch your legs a little bit more offensively, maybe rest up some of the guys who got nicked up this week. But West Linn looks really poised to take the #1 seed into the postseason in 6A.
Yeah, I mean, they proved they're the #1 team in the state of Oregon here tonight. Dominant win against a previously undefeated Lake Oswego squad. Jeff, I think we're going to get a matchup of 2 undefeated teams again next week in Phoenix, Arizona, out in Chandler.
Yeah, Hamilton and Basha are going to go at it, and we will be there in Chandler, Arizona, right near Phoenix, where we'll go from 50 degrees tonight to probably 80.
Yeah.
Once again, we'll be in warm weather, as there's that game for you starting at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. We will have that for you here on MaxPreps.com, on the MaxPreps YouTube channel, and on the NFHS Network.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a fun one, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, that should be a great game. We saw some great performances tonight. Once again on a National Game of the Week. Every week we roll out and kids put on a show for us, and it's been fun to get a chance to bring that to you week in and week out. And as we have this year on the inaugural season of the MaxPreps National Game of the Week, and as we see all the time on the NFHS Network, I'd like to thank our great crew. Carl Harper, our director, Scott Railing, are doing an outstanding job setting things up here on site. We had a statistician tonight, Gabriel Kurtz. Welcome into the broadcast booth. For my broadcast partner, Zack Poff, I am Jeff Kurtz saying so long from Lake Oswego. 38-16, your final. We'll see you next week on the Game of the Week.
The MaxPreps Game of the Week is brought to you by GoFan, the leading ticketing solution for high schools. Skip the line and get your tickets instantly on the GoFan app. And by the NFHS Network. Watch your favorite teams live and on demand with the largest broadcast network for high school sports.